as it's being live streamed.
Mm-hmm.
It asked me for my permission. I have granted total permission. Anyone else? Bueller? Spieler? Spieler?
Spieler.
Ja, ist ein Spieler.
Well, we're going on a ride with Francie. Nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, are we live, Stephen? Should I start? I've only got so many days on the planet, man.
We brought you the flowers. Oh, good. And the grapes. Oh, I like grapes.
I like grapes.
We're good.
Okay.
I can still hear all your bitching, but we're good.
Oh, good. So, welcome all to the Spiel holiday party
Yay!
2022.
Yay.
Which means we've survived this long and are here to celebrate all things Spiel and all the good things from this year. We can bitch about things that weren't good, but this is for the good things. And so thank you all for either being here or tuning in. First thing I want to do is introduce our cast of characters. And I'm going to start as far away from me and come back this way. So, Daryl Ottery, you're on camera. I want you to tell me.
I am now, yes.
Yes, where
Finally.
you are, who you are, and what you might be drinking, because that's our tradition.
Well, where I am is currently sat down in the library area at home. The background won't show you the big pile of books, but that's in Reading in the UK. And I am currently drinking on a basis that it is beginning the small hours. I have got an espresso martini and another one ready to go.
Excellent.
Good choice.
Thank you for joining us. I think west from there, we actually get to Indianapolis. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where Gubbins is in Michigan to know.
I think I'm further east.
Oh,
really? So go Gubbins. Go Gubbins. Go.
So unlike usual, I'm not in the padded cell or in my own padded cell in Indianapolis. I'm actually up somewhere in Michigan. We're celebrating Christmas at my brother's house, and the quietest, easiest place for me to be is in the basement, so it's the first time I've been in his basement, I think. So yeah, so I'm some strange.
Do you know how to get back out?
Yes, it's back there somewhere. Yes.
Thank you for joining from such a far
flung. And what I'm drinking it was water, now it's Kroger brand cherry Coke. So I didn't bring any alcohol. So yeah.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yes, it is.
True. Somewhere in Indianapolis are people. I'm going to start with Mark.
Hi. I'm Mark, sitting here drinking New Belgian Triple.
Ooh.
Approved.
Yeah. Pretty tasty.
I have some of those in my fridge.
Very, very approved. And then Stephen Conway and Francie Bodie. Go.
Francie.
Well, I am here and I am drinking a delightful beverage. courtesy of Gubbins and his Christmas gift. We have a good and plenty here.
Excellent.
Nice.
Delightful.
Tell them what's in a good and plenty.
It is equal parts sambuca and framboise.
Chambord.
Chambord, sorry, Chambord.
Which is framboise
Which is,
flavored.
yes.
Yeah.
And it is lovely. It tastes just like a good and plenty. I recommend it with a little bit of ice.
Yeah.
Very good.
The ice turns it a little cloudy, but it still tastes good.
That's fine. And Stephen Conway.
Last but not least, it's me. Thanks everybody for being here. We should have a lot of drop-ins throughout the evening, we hope. We've invited a lot of people to show up here, and if you're watching live on YouTube at the moment, I put a little thing in the chat over to the side. If you send me a DM on Twitter or a Facebook message, I'll send you the link. We didn't want to have just randos coming in, so you gotta connect with me somehow through the socials, and we'll send you a link so you can join us. I am drinking a Talisker 12-year Scotch whiskey in these fancy schmancy new glasses that my pal Erwin got me. They're shaped like this so that they've done the science to make sure that the alcohol fumes evaporate. You pour, you swirl, the alcohol fumes evaporate, and then you can literally, something you'd never be able to do with a normal glass, which is I can put my nose like right over it and actually like smell what the spirit smells like. And it's like, smell is part of taste, so you can really taste it more intensely through these glasses. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's no lie. It's already delicious, and it's like super mega delicious now that you can smell it as you taste it. So cheers to everybody for another year.
Cheers.
17 years of the show here.
Yep.
Glad to have you.
Yep.
This is our 10th Christmas holiday extravaganza, I believe, out of those 17 years. So, and I think
I was trying to work out just how many it was I'd been on. I was going, I must be pushing 8 or 9. I don't think I was on the first one.
Yeah, because I don't think we'd figured out how to bring people in from far-flung places yet. But I think you get full credit. I think other than that, I think this is your 9th out of 10, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
So cheers to you all, and let's have some fun.
Stephen, you're not actually last. I am actually last.
Oh.
And here's my beverage for the night. It's the Big Bad Baptist Imperial Stout, which was whiskey barrel aged. Now, they say this is premium, but I happen to know they have like 8 variations on this that just go from here to infinity and beyond.
Nice.
It's quite good, and quite special. That's from Epic Brewing Company. And yeah, so here we go. We are on the show. We're doing a holiday thing, and we welcome you all to the holiday thing. I have to go to my first thing that I'm going to bring up for discussion. Come on, everybody behave. It's one of those things.
I'm glad that Doug is running the show, because now he'll be like, oh man, you're doing that next year. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, what a bunch of crap. So my first Christmas topic is going to be, this is going to be a thing in 3 acts. We're going to focus on 3 different movies, and from each one of those, I'm going to extract like one little moment and have you react to it. So the first moment, which we've kind of already referred to, is from A Christmas Story, which is, of course, the story of a young boy's quest to receive what he believes to be the best gift a boy could ever receive. Of course, what's not on his wish list is the pink bunny suit he receives from his gaudy aunt. So, in the spirit of that movie, tell us about one gift you were given that didn't quite hit the mark. Doesn't have to be a Christmas gift. Tell us about one thing you received that was memorable for all the wrong reasons: inappropriate, tacky, ill-fitting, tasteless. We want to hear that story. Anyone to go? Just go.
I've got one real quick.
Yay, Mark.
So I believe this would have been late 90s, early 2000s. So I was in my 20s, and my father gave me a nice big size box, probably 14 inches cubed, very heavy, very unusual for him to give me two gifts.
So you're
And,
thinking this is good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. My
yeah.
mind is racing. What
Like,
could it be?
yes.
This is shaking it. Man, it's hefty. This is wow. And he's always very pragmatic in his gift giving. Like the one of the last ones I got from him was a knife sharpener. So, something like that. And it turned out to be a turnip that weighed 14 pounds and was the size of a basketball.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And he gave it to me because when I was, I don't know, 1.5 or 2, they tried to give me like a tiny, tiny little piece of turnip inside my mashed potatoes, thinking they could trick me into eating a turnip. And I very quickly discovered it. I even pulled my tongue out and was like wiping it off with a napkin, just making a big show out of it. And so from that point forward, he looked for every opportunity to tease me with turnips, and he happened to be driving through somewhere in Mississippi and saw a field of turnips and found a 14-pound one
Mm.
and gave it to me.
That's a better story than I could have anticipated.
Was this a Christmas gift or
It was
birthday
a Christmas gift and at the family Christmas gathering, and yeah, everybody loved it except for me.
Mark, I've already rolled. You get 5 points for that story.
Nice, awesome, thanks.
Well, I've got one. So in my family, when we were growing up, whoever's birthday it was, the sibling got a consolation prize. So that's the setup for this story. So on my 13th birthday, I was not, not super excited to be turning 13 or anything. I mean, it was okay, but I wasn't one of those girls who was super excited to be becoming a teenager. But my grandmother, who was a very proper lady, who always was very formal about everything, for my 13th birthday, sent me Playboy underwear. And she sent my brother Silly Putty. And that was the year that I wished I had gotten the consolation prize, because I was mortified that my very proper grandmother would send me Playboy underwear. I don't own Playboy underwear now as a grown-up.
So
was it a specific gift? Was she searching for, I need to give you?
I don't know. I didn't ask because I didn't want to know. I wrote a proper thank you note and hoped that would never happen again.
all right, Francie, that story would be just a 6, but because you wrote a proper note, thank you note, it's an 8.
Woohoo!
Our current score is Francie 8 and Mark 5.
Oh, there's a dog.
And who is that?
Who's this?
This is Molly.
Molly.
Yeah, you want to show him your new haircut?
So
Don't be
cute.
judgy. Don't look at him all judgy.
Oh, so cute.
All right, I'll go next. I kind of have 2 stories. One was birthday, one was Christmas. For birthday, my cousin and I had birthdays in the same month, And so we would, even though we lived, he lived in Virginia, I lived in Indiana, we'd get together. And so we would exchange gifts. And one year he got me Michael Jackson Thriller, which is, I'm sure, a great album, but I did not want as a 12-year-old. So from then on, I decided to give him a list of things to choose from. So, like, okay, you tell me what you want, I'll tell you what I want. So we got much better gifts that way. And then for Christmas, my brother and I both opened the same looking gift, and we opened it up, and this was in 6th grade, and he was in 8th grade, and we were in a bowling league, and we opened it up, and it was bowling ball bags. So we looked at each other like, well, I guess when we go to the bowling alley, we can go find a ball, stick it in the bag, and then carry it to our lane. And of course, a few gifts later, we opened up bowling balls, but just in the wrong order. So that wasn't a bad gift. It was just a misunderstanding of when we should open it. So,
All right, Govins, fate has determined that your 2 gifts are worth 1 and 4 points.
oh, okay.
So
I was
you have a
expecting a 1 and
5.
a 1.
Stephen, I don't know anything about.
So I have a story, but it's more about a crappy gift that I was involved in giving that I really didn't want to be part of giving.
All
So
right.
my uncle Alan and my uncle Tom, with Christmas was a pretty big deal because it was like the whole extended family, uncles, cousins, the whole 9 yards, and it was fun. Lots of gifts, exchanging hands between everybody. But they decided that as like a gag, somebody who was getting like they went into a lot of trouble that I see now. I didn't see this part as a kid, but like whoever was getting like the big primo, like some special, sentimental gift or whatever, that in addition to that, in the bottom of that gift or alongside it, they would get a little lacquered plaque with a spray painted gold dog turd.
So
on
it was literally an Indiana Kagana.
it. Kind of. So, I was there. There was much thinking and thought that went into the creation of this little, trophy. It was sort of like balancing the scales. You got something good, well, you're gonna get the
Well-
dog poop kind of along with it. And it was always kind of like, oh, how can we get them? They aren't gonna think they're gonna get it, and they get them. But somehow the job of like spray painting the dog poop got left to me like most of the years. I'm like, why? This is your thing. Like, I don't want to do this. This is gross, yuck. And like shellacking it so it wouldn't smell. And just it was literally a crappy gift.
There's so much thought going into that. Well, we
Yeah.
have to shellac it, because
Because if
All
you
right.
can smell it, that's the surprise is,
Yeah.
shot, right? So
don't get Krylon. Whatever you do, don't get Krylon.
The story is good. The lack of initiative there, Stephen. I'm sorry, it's only 3 points.
it's a shitty gift. I should get a shitty score.
And Daryl, you must have something.
Probably this time of day and this end of the month. I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is when I perpetrated a terrible gift on somebody.
All right.
And this is a very long time ago. It was a group of friends, and Mark was the eldest one in that group by 6 or 8 months ago, and he was turning 18. That was kind of a big deal. So we all got together and got him an enormous box, like a box you'd fit a 50-inch TV in. Huge box. And inside that, there was another box, and another box, and another box, all the way down, about 20 or so boxes inside this, in which we wrapped up a potato. And that was his 18th birthday present. And he didn't speak to me for about 6 months. So in addition to that, we engineered on the region of the country where we're in, just before the local news, each weekday they would have a little segment where a TV presenter of some form would have some kind of hand puppet rabbit that would pop up and say happy birthday to people. And you'd write it as a kid, you'd know, Gus Honeybun, that's with his name, that's right. And he just like, he'd do some bunny hops for, 3 for the 3-year-old or whatever. So we wrote in using our best childish handwriting to ask for Mark to have his birthday read out on there. So he got a special mention from this really cheesy kids just before the local news. So everybody would have been watching. And that's how evil I was at that age, and it hasn't got better.
So I want you to know that this is like totally the die roll of fate. Like these points are just like totally random and arbitrary, but I think that is an 8-point story. And that's exactly what I rolled. So currently we have Francie and Daryl tied at 8. And then we have Mark and Gubbins at 5. And Stephen Conway working from the rear.
Pulling up the rear, so to speak.
Does he get the Golden Poop Award?
What about you? What about you, Doug?
Over.
What about you, Doug?
I have to say, pretty much all the gifts were crappy, and there is no good story. So I'm just going to be like, yep, they were all terrible. If you want me, I'll award points. But there's no
the show, man. You get to decide.
There's no pink bunny moment. Here, I'll just roll the die. Hey, look, I got 2 points.
At least I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, but I can make up whatever points
That's
I want.
true.
All right. Discuss amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Because that happens with humans.
Sure. Daryl runs Eclectic Games in Reading, UK, for those who may be watching or who don't know. How's the store doing, and how's the holiday season been for game shoppers? And
it's been busy. As I was saying earlier before we were on camera, I don't honestly know what day or hour it is. It's been pretty much non-stop since about the 3rd. And I don't expect it's going to get any easier for the next 2 or 3 days. Unfortunately, I'm not in tomorrow, given this is going to be a little bit late. I've got some errands to do here and things like that. But I'm not actually in the shop tomorrow, but I am Friday, Saturday, until we finish at whichever point we stop, which is probably the point people stop coming in and asking for stuff we've actually got. 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. And then we stop for 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days, yeah.
What are the hot sellers this year?
Well, it's the thing we always do at the end of the year is sort of have a little guess amongst the staff to see what we think the best-selling game of the year is. What do we, gut feel, think we've sold a lot of. And last year, best-selling board game was Azul, and best-selling card game was The Mind. It took a resurgence. It had been bestseller 2 or 3 years prior to that, so I don't quite know where the love for that one came from all again, but there we go. This year, I don't really know what a board game will be. Gut feel says it might be Wingspan. We've done a lot of that, done a huge amount of that. I can't think of anything else that's been sort of consistently selling. Card game might be Crew 2. It might be, what else? Might be Dungeon Mayhem, because we just seem to keep selling that hand over fist. Very, very silly little 15-minute ultra-violent card game. But yeah, it's like we always seem to be emptying displays of it and refilling it. So I suppose that's going. I mean, it is fun for what it is. And the other thing that's been doing very well for us is Pluster. But that's just far more fun than 24 magnets and a piece of string has any right to be.
Doug just sent me a copy of that within the last week or two.
makes an excellent drinking game if you wish to go that way.
Is it spelled in a weird way, or is it just
It's
spelled?
like cluster with a K.
Okay.
It went viral on TikTok about this time last year, and just we couldn't get it. But we've been stocking it for 4 or 5 years. It came originally from a small French company, I think. But it's 24 magnets and a string. The loop of string is your play area. Divide the magnets between you. Place one magnet at a time, going in turns. Don't let any of them jump together, otherwise you have to pick them up. First one to go out of the magnet wins. But you can move the string as long as everything stays in there. So it's all about setting traps. While Doug isn't here, lay them on their side, not flat, because that really disrupts the rest of the magnetic field. Oh, hello, Doug.
Yes. You didn't hear anything, Doug.
I heard nothing. I heard
Yes.
zero.
So yeah, those are my guesses for what's done well, but I haven't actually run the numbers yet to see. There's a kind of gut feel. And we'll see. Last year I guessed this all correctly. It's very rare. I usually pick somewhere in the top 3 or 5, but to actually get the number 1, no idea. We'll see.
Your store doesn't have a door? Or...
No, we have an external shutter and an internal shutter and a huge, great gaping hole. And you'd be surprised the number of people who come in over the last week when the average shop temperature has been maybe 0, going, oh, it's cold in here, why don't you shut the door? It's like, do you see, there's no door, big gaping hole to the outside. We'd need to get permission from the landlord to change the shutter to a door, and then not to have to put it back again when the lease ends. That would be a cost for us to put in and a cost for us to take it out. So until we can get approval to do that, it's not happening. And the cost of electricity over here is just ridiculous. Domestics got theirs capped. Commercial units, oh no, we'll just make you pay and pay and pay. So yeah, it's to pay to heat the street with a hot air curtain doesn't really seem worthwhile. Given anybody who's the outside is already dressed for the cold. So, but it's gone from freezing cold and bitter winds to it's just a normal December where it's raining and muggy and wet.
Why it doesn't look so bad? I think I'll go down there.
Well, we are sort of about on the same latitude as Montreal and Vancouver, I think.
Right.
So we're quite a lot further north than people seem to think.
Right. And Spain is basically welcome to California.
It's not quite that far down, but temperature-wise, yes, it's reasonably pleasant.
Yeah. Well, especially the South, you're so close to Africa. It's like, I don't think of that as frozen and horrible.
True.
This is a thing that's been happening to me, Daryl, since a friend of mine a few months ago announced that he and his wife were moving from here to Portugal. And they needed somebody to take on their little old dog. Yes.
Yes, remember you saying.
Right. And I was like, well, that's kind of what I do. Bring him over. Come on. And of course, since then, Oscar's actually gotten stronger and better and, kind of charging around. He's still pretty decrepit, but John, my friend, slipped and did something to his ankle, and then he was like, oh, I'm just gonna put this in a little compression sock, and then he had to have surgery. So now his pictures on Facebook are like ankle way up like this, hairy leg just above.
Doug, I think Doug's going to be broadcasting from Spain before we know it. He keeps sending me these links to Spanish villas. Like, look how cheap this one is. Look how cheap this one is. So he's on a slippery slope to.
Like, there's a house just down the street from me that I've considered a dump for years. It's on the market for $305,000. Like, this is a freaking dump. Outside, it's a dump. Inside, it looks like a cave. It's $305,000. Who the hell would want that?
You just need to cash out and buy one villa for your board game collection and one villa for you and Patty, and then you're set, right?
Yeah. Or, just buy one villa and then have a little thing built on. It's like, that's where the board games are.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Sounds great to me. Just a few other difficulties. So, kids, we have a game to play. And I will let any one of you jump in on this. It's kind of a trivia kind of game, but hopefully fun. And I'm going to let you choose your topic. So I'm calling this, well, that didn't happen.
World Cup.
That's not the topic on here.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for jumping in there, Govins. But I have a number of topics here, and you can choose your own. But this is all pretty much like, here's some crazy, outrageous stuff, but one of these didn't happen. So your topics are baseball, chess, use your words, the annals of crime, war, what is it good for, weird nobility 1, weird nobility 2, and depression era foods.
I choose
So-
baseball.
You're going to go for baseball?
Somebody else can go first, but that's the only thing I have any clue about.
Go, Gubbins.
Go, Govins. Okay, here we go. Govins, step to the forefront. Let me check and see how many points this is worth. Oh my gosh, Govins, this is worth 4 points. So, Rube Waddell was a dominant baseball pitcher in the early years of the 20th century. He was also notoriously eccentric and unpredictable, often driving his managers beyond the limits of their patience. Which of these is not associated with Rube Waddell? 1, more than once, he left the ballpark during a game to follow a fire truck. 2, he disappeared during the off-season only to be found in a circus wrestling an alligator. 3, he fixed a broken nose using only a pair of pliers and a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Now.
4, in one season, he won 22 games, toured in a melodrama called The Stain of Guilt, saved a woman from drowning, accidentally shot a friend in the hand, and was bitten by a lion. And 5, had a roommate who demanded a clause in his contract which prohibited Rube from eating crackers in bed. Which of those 5 did not happen?
Four of them did. 4 of them did. 1 didn't.
I'm
Right,
just gonna. I'm
I'm
gonna
going
guess
to
number
review
3.
them for you.
No, I'm just guessing number 3 because I have absolutely no idea. I'm going with number 3. The
You're
third
going
one.
with number 3.
The third one.
That's the nose and the pliers, right?
Yeah, nose and pliers. That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one that seems most plausible and therefore can't be right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like Daryl's thinking on that. That's where I
Yeah,
went.
that's where I was at. Yep.
Govins, I'm going to give you 4 big points for guessing the correct answer. That actually was a thing that happened with 1980 American League Rookie of the Year, Super Joe Charbonneau, who went to the same high school that Patty and I went to.
Yes.
Nice.
That was one of the few less odd things that happened in the life of Super Joe,
Wow.
and clearly didn't happen in the life of Rube.
He
When
got
you
bit by
said
it.
that, when you said that name, I thought, wait, I know that name. So I had actually heard of Rube Waddell.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
that's from over here. You know, we don't do
Yeah.
baseball.
He got
So,
bit by a lion.
He got bitten
rest
by
was
a
out.
lion,
Yeah.
rescued a woman. The one I left out was he like totally saved a town from a flood.
Wow.
It's like mythic level stuff
Yeah.
there.
Forrest Gump or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So someone else can now take a
Fancy.
question.
There you go.
Clearly not a baseball. So chess, use your words, crime files, war, what is it good for? Weird nobility 1, 2, and Depression era foods.
Go on, hit me up for crime.
Crime for you. Okay, here we go.
Fill my glass.
Down here, the annals of crime. Joyce McKinney went on a crime spree that spanned decades and continents. Which of these is not true of her history? She arranged for the abduction of a Mormon missionary from the steps of a meeting house in Devon, England. 2, she and her accomplice skipped bail and fled to the U.S. on false passports. 3, had 5 clones of her pit bull made in South Korea. 4, conspired with a teenager to burglarize a house to raise funds for a prosthetic leg for a horse. And 5, tried to extort money by threatening to set a valuable stamp collection on fire while streaming on the internet. So, Mormon abduction, false passports, cloned pit bull, burglarized prosthetic horse funds, and funds extortion for a stamp collection.
Right.
Good
And
luck.
oh, wait, I have to tell you how many points this is worth. Oh, it's worth 3 points.
Oh, not a great loss if I get it wrong then. Until you mentioned the streaming on the internet, I thought it was going to be the dog cloning. Because the name resonated with something sort of 18th, 19th century, and therefore there wouldn't have been cloning and indeed the internet. So on that basis, I think the stamp burning threat was real. The horse prosthetic limb funds, definitely real. Maybe the dog cloning is. So I'm going to say trying to skip the country on false passports because that sounds far too straightforward.
Oh. I am so sorry, Daryl. The actual false part was the stamps.
That was somebody else.
Everything else was true. She literally had a young Mormon missionary abducted and
Well, who doesn't?
manacled to a bed and abused. And everything else was true.
What
But the
era was
stamps
it?
I made up.
Was it really? That sounds like I've heard that story before. So I thought that was true.
If you look up manacled Mormon missionary, it's on
You're going to get
Wikipedia.
a lot of weird stuff.
Safe search on for that one.
Don't do that. Don't do
And
that.
I left off the fact that later on, she actually mowed down a 91-year-old man in a crosswalk in Los Angeles and
Jeez.
then was found to be completely incompetent to stand trial.
Wow. When did
That's
what was the year? Like born?
this is like the 70s through the 90s.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because I was having the same problem Daryl was, like trying to pinpoint when.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we have left here chess, use your words, war, what is it good for, weird nobility 1 and 2, and depression era foods.
Depression era foods, please.
Yes, yes, sir. I will scroll down and get to that. Let's see how many points this is worth. Rolling the big die. It's worth 3 points, which is not insignificant.
Your die is really stingy, Doug.
I know, man. It's the die of fate. What can I say? So the poverty and the desperation of the Great Depression inspired a lot of food creativity. Which of these was not a Depression era recipe? Not a recipe. A, vinegar pie, which was mock lemon pie without the lemons.
Mm.
B, dandelion salad. C, garbage plate. D, Campbell's tomato soup. And E, peanut butter and pickle sandwich, which was not one of those things.
Um,
Not
peanut
a-
butter pickles.
He's saying peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
Saying peanut butter pickles. That sounds like something a rock star wants to eat.
Sounds like an Elvis era thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, the taste combination will work.
I'm sorry, sir. That is not correct. The actual answer there is Campbell's tomato soup. It
Predates it?
already been introduced. The product that actually was a depression era product was Kraft macaroni and cheese.
I didn't know that.
But vinegar pie, dandelion salad, peanut butter pickle sandwich, or peanut butter and mayo. Seriously. Seriously.
Gubbins, look. You just broke
Not all
Gubbins.
of them.
Was it good for you, Gubbins?
Oh, gross.
Peanut butter and mayo.
It may not kill me like it would Francie, but it kills me just hearing about it.
Pretty good, huh?
Mm.
Francie,
All right.
Right.
I need somebody else to jump on the wagon here.
I'm gonna go with the use your words.
Oh, use your words. All right. Let's see. The random die roll says this is worth 5 points. Francie, William Archibald Spooner was an Anglican priest and an Oxford Don, renowned for his supposed mixing up of words and syllables. Which of these is not a Spoonerism attributed to Mr. Spooner? 1. The weight of wages will press hard upon the employer, by which he meant the rate of wages. 2. It is customary to cuss the bride. 3. 3 cheers for the queer old dean. The dear old queen. For they were properly raised with a loving dummy and mad. Mummy and dad. And 5, the Lord is a shoving leopard. Loving shepherd. Which of those is not associated with Spooner? The weight of rages. They kissed her Mary to cuss the bride. Cheers the queer old dean. The loving dummy and mad. And the shoving leopard.
I'm gonna go with that last one because that's the one I like the best.
The shoving leopard.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, it's actually the Mummy and Dad,
That was my
which
second guess.
which was from a Shel Silverstein book.
Ah, okay. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff,
Debbie's just behind me. She'll be here in a sec.
Yay. It looks like you've got some weather there in Canada.
I think it's supposed to be rain and ice starting on Friday, but
Mm.
maybe same for you guys.
I'm thinking he's faking out. Yeah, I think we're all getting into weather.
weird that there's weather everywhere.
Yeah, funny, isn't it?
What is this about?
Introduce yourself, Jeff, and tell people where you are.
I'm Jeff Ridpath, longtime Spiel supporter and fan of Steven and everything that he and everybody else. Oh, nice. What are you drinking? Okay, I'll have to go get something. And
Please
I am
feel
in
free.
Toronto, Canada, where it's lovely right now, but not likely to be for much longer.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. What's happening? What have I missed?
Well,
Well,
Doug,
we've been doing a
A
little.
lot of poop.
Oh yes, we done poop.
Doug is the master of ceremonies here. He is, what's the game called again, Doug, that we're playing?
Well, that didn't happen. So I'm
And-
giving you a topic, and you go with it, and you tell me which one of these things did not happen.
And you're up.
And you,
Good timing.
yes,
I'm up.
Yeah.
you're up. Let me.
Which of these did not happen? Okay.
Which of these did not happen? So we still have available chess, war. What is it good for? Weird Nobility 1, Weird Nobility 2. Which of these would you like? It's worth double points.
I'll take war. What is it good for? For double
Excellent.
points.
All right, for double
Clearly, that has
points.
to be worth 0 points, right?
I
Double
know.
zero.
I'm sorry. Let's see how many points that's worth. Jeff, I rolled a 6. It's worth 12 points, man. And I'm sorry, but this is about an English person, a Brit, Mad Jack Churchill, a British officer during World War II, was, well, different. Which of these is he not known for? 1, he insisted on carrying a Scottish broadsword into battle. 2, he also carried a longbow and recorded perhaps the last kill using such an implement in modern warfare. 3, he was captured behind enemy lines and had his life spared because he was mistaken for a relative of the British Prime Minister. 4, when the confusion was cleared up, Hitler himself ordered his execution, but he was spared by winning at cards against the German commandant of the concentration camp in which he was held. And 5, once transferred from the camp, he wrote the commandant a thank you letter. The letter helped exonerate the officer at his post-war trial for war crimes. So, Scottish broadsword, killed a guy with a longbow, captured and then mistaken for a relative of the prime minister, ordered killed but won at cards, spared his life, and finally wrote a thank you letter, and that got the commandant out of his trouble. Which one of those didn't happen?
I'm going to go with number 3, caught behind enemy lines, because the broadsword and the longbow seem related, and that seems likely. And the other 2 seem related, and that seems likely.
Okay, I have tripped you up, Jeff. 0 big points, because he actually was caught behind enemy lines and was only spared because the commandant of the camp just went, yeah, I'm not killing this guy. And when he was released, he actually did save the guy's life by writing a thank you letter. So very British, so very proper.
Welcome, Debbie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Tell everybody we are live on YouTube this year, so tell everybody who you are and where you're from, so that people know about you.
I am Debbie Ridpath Owie, and I am a children's book author and illustrator and gamer, and a big fan of the Spiel. And I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I'm married to Jefferson Ridpath, who is also just joined. We apologize for being late.
No problem at all.
I'm trying to get my overhead camera to work, so just ignore me.
Okay.
There's no late this year. You're just here.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Yes. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. You're welcome anytime, anywhere. Doug, I want Weird Nobility 1.
Wait, so Doug, which did I miss that? Which one was false?
The false one was that he got out of the concentration camp because he won at cards. He just got out because the commandant just went, I'm not killing this guy. And then at the end of the war, he wrote a thank you note that said, he was really nice to me. And people went, yeah, we shouldn't kill him.
Well, I'm glad to hear he killed somebody with a longbow, because that's kind of cool.
That is awesome.
Literally killed somebody with a longbow and carried a Scottish broadsword into battle. Like,
Yeah, you should look him up. His story is quite interesting. Utterly barking mad.
Sounds like it.
I wonder how there's not a film made of this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like he's primed for the taking right there. That's a screenplay waiting to happen, I would think.
No one would believe it.
Sorry, Francie, it's very distracting the way your things are bumping.
Yes.
I don't currently have them in seizure mode.
Yeah,
Moment,
exactly.
I can make adjustments.
so Stephen,
actually-
you said you wanted it Weird Nobility number 1.
Yes.
All right. It's worth 4 points, man. Here we go. Jemmy James Hurst was a notable weirdo. Which of these things did he not do?
Okay.
Refused an invitation from George III to tea because he was training an otter to fish. 2, when he finally did attend tea with the king lavished several bottles of wine from the royal cellars upon him as a present, one of which he threw upon a courtier, believing the man to be suffering a fit of hysteria because he was laughing. 3, trained a bull to behave as a horse, even riding the bull on fox hunts. 4, regularly blew a horn to announce free food for the locals, which he had served out of a casket. And 5, for his funeral, he stipulated that 12 old maids be found to follow his coffin while a bagpiper played happy tunes. Which of those did not happen? I'll go back.
I feel like you should read these slower and Debbie should illustrate them all.
No.
Refused an invitation from George III because he was training an otter to fish. Attended with the king, and then threw a bottle of wine upon a courtier because he was laughing. Trained a bull to behave as a horse. Blew a horn to announce free food, which was served out of a casket. And 5, had 12 old maids follow his coffin while a bagpiper played happy tunes.
Oh, with the first one, because otters already know how to fish. I don't know why you'd have to teach an otter how to fish.
Very nice try. Actually, the correct answer, I'm sorry, is when he attended the tea with the king, he didn't throw wine on a courtier, he threw water on the courtier.
Okay.
You're nitpicking now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty nitpicky.
Sometimes have to do that, man. Who hasn't had a go? I believe
everybody but Debbie.
Debbie.
I think.
Debbie.
All right.
Oh, hang on. Because I think we have some choices here. So one is weird courtiers. 2, and of course, your attempts here are all worth double points because you came in late. Heaven only knows if you come in even later. Or the madness of chess. And
Am I supposed to choose a category?
you are supposed to choose.
All right. How about the first one? I think it's the courtiers or something.
Courtiers?
Courtiers. I have no idea.
Nobody wants the easiest one I did, the madness of chess.
Okay, the madness of chess. Sure.
All right.
Absolutely. That's a real one I wanted.
Because you know what? It's worth 4 points, doubled, which is 8 points, which would put you right up there with the big time winners.
All right. Excellent. I
Okay.
feel like I'm going to get it. I could tell.
And even better, there's only 4 here.
Ooh.
And not 5, 4. So there's something about serious competitive chess that can bring out the eccentric in mankind. Which of these chess masters did not end up committed to a mental institution?
Oh my God.
But you never knew, right? 1, Carlos Torre, a Mexican master who is known to eat up to 10 pineapple sundaes a day and who took off his clothes on a New York City trolley. Number 2, Aaron Nimzovich, a Latvian master who avoided the draft into World War I by insisting there was a fly on his head, and once shouted after a loss, "Imagine that I should lose to this idiot." Akiva Rubinstein, the Polish grandmaster, who was known to jump out of a window if a stranger entered a room, and resorted to making his move and then retreating to a corner until his opponent had made his own move. These are all true. Which one did not get locked up?
Clearly.
Number 4.
Oh, sorry.
Number 4. Oh, we have more choices. Wilhelm Steinitz, Australian champion and world champion, who claimed he had a special telephone with which he could play chess with God, to whom he gave pawn and move odds. So God would get to go first, and he would have an extra pawn. So the Mexican guy who ate the pineapple sundaes, the Latvian guy with the fly on his head who declared his opponent an idiot, the Polish guy who jumped out of a window, and the Austrian guy who said he could play chess with God and win.
I think John's supposed to pick out which one is clearly false.
One of these people, only one of these people did not get committed to an insane asylum.
All of those things happened.
All of
Really?
those things
Wow.
happened. Yes.
Well, I think it's clear that number 3 was not committed. So obvious.
And you think that because?
We've all been to board game conventions. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody jumps out of a window when
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's like the sanest person on this list, Debbie.
Yeah, it's obvious. Obvious. My husband does that all the time.
Yeah, like I don't know that guy.
Gosh,
I'm out of
thanks.
here.
He goes into the corner when he makes his move. Have you
Yeah.
moved yet, Debbie? Can I come out?
Exactly.
That's your story. Are you sticking to it?
Absolutely.
All right. Debbie,
Yes.
Akiba Rubinstein spent much of his later life in a mental institution. In fact, somehow he survived World War II in captivity in a mental institution.
Really?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No. In
That's-
fact, there's a story where the Germans came in and went, "Are you happy here?" "No." "What would you rather do?" "I would rather go to Germany and work for the Wehrmacht." And they went, "Oh yeah, this guy's clearly crazy. Leave him here." Wilhelm Steinitz, yes, he claimed to be able to play chess with God. And the Mexican guy, yes, he took off his clothes on the public transit in New York City. They went, he's got to go.
Everybody does that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It was Nimzovich, the Latvian master, who figured out, like, hey, if I claim I'm crazy and pointed the flag on his head, they went, yeah, we don't need you. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but big 0 for points there, Deb.
We got here a little late. Does anybody have any points?
Yeah, so I was going to offer up my points. I actually have to head out because we're going to leave for Tennessee tomorrow. So
Oh.
I've got to.
We have good friends we visit in Chattanooga occasionally.
Oh, Chattanooga's great. Great.
It
town.
is, yeah.
I have to say at this point, yes, actually the points leaders are let's see. I'm going through the
Not
list
me.
here.
Not me. I know that.
Oh,
You have the golden poop, though.
You did.
You got to really pour over that list, huh? 0, 0, 0. Oh, yeah. Oh,
no. I have Gubbins at 9.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. I have Francie at 8. And I have Daryl at 8.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you're offering up your 0 points.
I have 5. I have 5 points.
He had 5 points. Yeah. You could split them among everybody.
I won them on a tale of a Christmas gift.
I did not make this easy for anyone. I hopefully made it fun.
Hey, thank you all. I'm gonna head out.
Safe travels, Mark. Have a
Thank
good
you. It was
holiday.
great seeing you all.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good to see you, Mark.
Bye.
Leave early
Goodbye.
tomorrow. Yes.
Yep.
Leave early.
Yeah, that's why I've got to leave early now so that I can leave
Yes.
early tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks a lot, y'all.
Yep, see ya.
Spiel on.
Bye.
Yes, we are headed into the frozen zone very soon here.
Relatively speaking, for the
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you have to realize, like, when you get half an inch of ice in this part of the country, everything just goes, we're done.
Sure.
Because there is no one who knows how to handle it. And
I'm loving the drawing, Debbie.
Yes.
Thank you. Except I'm trying to fix the color because this is green. I'm
Really?
not sure. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
it looks blue.
I know. And I'm trying to
looks good.
figure out how to fix this. So just
Man,
ignore me. I
Good new
know.
camera.
I know.
Steven's
there.
driving me crazy sipping his whiskey there. I'm going to run downstairs and get some. I
There,
can't believe I
think
showed
you
up with
should.
nothing.
Yeah.
I think you should.
that's a bit more
It
green.
looked like he just walked outside from his background,
Yes.
merged with the window, and went into the
We're
snow.
gonna go see him gathering firewood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Debbie, what's new with you? It's been forever.
I
Yeah.
know. It's crazy. I have been working and playing some music. And I'm trying out a new social media platform called Post. I'm not sure if you guys have tried that at all.
Mm-mm.
Post. I've been looking for board gamers, but
Yeah.
here I can show you. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my second monitor. This is Post, and it's pretty cool. And so if I look for the term, I know there is at least one board gaming. There are some people here who, see, I'm starting to put my comics and board gaming and stuff like
Nice.
that, and putting out. So here I said, if you appreciate this comic, I need to be following you. So like, because you have to understand Star Trek, you have to be a
Yes.
Star Trek fan, and meeples, right? And this is my
That's a good Venn diagram of nerds there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. And
carved out, right?
and for this one, I had the help of Rick Weckerman from Board Game Geek. And for this one, I had the help of Ben Tishy from Board Game Geek. And so one snowman is saying to the other, wow, sweet game table. Wait till Ted sees this. And the other one saying, about Ted. So
Poor Ted.
yeah, poor Ted. Poor Ted. And I've been working on a middle grade novel, and I've been learning Braille. Here, I can show you. I'm learning Braille just because a close family member is starting to lose her sight. And so this is where the wild things are.
Not me.
No. And I don't know if you could see the,
Let me-
see?
Let me
Mhm.
spotlight. I think if we spotlight you, maybe we might be able to see.
Oh, okay, yeah, see?
Yeah,
The
so
color's
this
very,
is,
very pink now. I don't know if you can see that, but
all right, that's okay. It's all right. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
leave
you
it
can-
for now.
You can see it.
Yeah, and so this is a Braille picture book that kids can read, except that it's mainly for read aloud. So how this works is on the left hand side there's the English, so you can say that very night in Max's room a forest grew, and on the right, if you could read Ray's Braille, it's here. So I am learning Braille very, very, very slowly. I can here I can show you one of my instruction books. Braille. So what I'm doing is I actually want to start volunteering with young readers with low vision, but first I have to learn stuff. And I like learning new languages, so it's like a whole new language. So I have flashcards, and I could read it very, very, very slowly, but very slowly. And so a lot of times when we're watching something like Formula One, I'll be watching, but I will be going through my flashcards the same
when we're
time.
watching something you're only marginally interested in.
No, but I'm interested, but I can't, I don't know. There's some things I can't watch and be going through my flashcards, but other ones I can. So
So, believe it or not, you're the second person in less than a week that I've talked to that's learning Braille.
really? Who else is learning Braille?
Wow.
Laura Kivala at the
Oh,
Francie's annual ornament making party was this last week, and we had people
Oh.
over at one of Francie's friends just started a job at the blind school, which is very close to us
Really?
here. She's an art teacher by trade and is a fabulous artist. But it was very interesting hearing her experiences. See if this tracks with you. I went in thinking when you learn Braille, it's learning the tactile, like learning the touch system. And she
Mhm.
said, well, most sighted people actually learn by like looking at the dots and not by. So I was like asking her all these questions about, well, how do you train your finger? And, how do you go about, developing that sense of touch? And she was like, you just read it, dummy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess, yeah, you can see the dots, so you don't have to. I mean, that was just my preconceived notion of how it goes, but it was super fascinating to hear
Yeah.
how that training your brain to do it is so different than learning other languages.
It really is. And also because when I started learning, I thought it'd be just like, A is 1 dot, B is 2 dots. But there's contracted and uncontracted Braille. So I found out when do I have any contracted Braille here? No. I thought, oh well, I'll just get a novel that I already know and get the Braille version, raised Braille. I can practice with that. No, I couldn't. And because contracted Braille is what, if you're very fluent in Braille, you would learn that. So Francie's friend probably knows that. And it's a lot of short forms, which means that a book that, uncontracted Braille would be like this, because it's 1-to-1 ratio. For contracted Braille, it's all kinds of short forms. And so it's much, takes up much less paper, but it's really hard to learn. So but it's a good challenge for me. And so that's something, and there's all kinds of apps you can use. I have a Braille pen pal in Japan who's trying to learn who's practicing English. So it's like an exchange of information. I'm
Nice.
helping him practice English and he's helping coach me in Braille. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And eventually, this is totally, speaking of languages, Jeff and I eventually want to go to Essen eventually someday. So I'm not sure. Have either of you been to Essen this year? I mean, it's this year. Oh,
yeah.
And how was it? Was it as crowded as normal? I'm very curious.
I would say it was less crowded than pre-pandemic days. But then there were slightly fewer people there. The aisles were wider and it was a bit more spread out. It felt like it was maybe 2017, 2018, but it wasn't absolutely heaving. It was busy and it wasn't the half-term week for the schools. So all the kids and families came in on the Saturday rather than being sort of spread over this. So it was like this on the Sunday in terms of attendance, as opposed to it being sort of generically like this with a small spike on the Saturday. But it didn't feel heaving. It felt busy, but not heaving. You were able to get around, but like the aisles were doubled in size. They're sort of 4 meter wide aisles rather than sort of 2.5-ish. So yeah, didn't quite feel like it was completely pre-pandemic, but the numbers were reasonable. And as is usual, I couldn't get around to see everything. We were there for 4 days. We went over on the Monday and drove to Dover on the Monday and drove over on the Tuesday. We're there for setup on the Wednesday, and not that we were running a booth or anything. We were just there attending and generally loitering and getting in the way. But
I could see that.
As is usually the case, there's always something that I missed. There were a couple of things that I thought, oh, that would be good to get, that were completely sold. I was really surprised to see some of the queues for some of the things. Pre-opening, there were queues stretching like almost an entire hall in length. What the hell are people? That was for Lacrimosa, which I still haven't had a chance to play, but
Right.
that was one of the things that there was a massive queue for. But yeah, no, it was almost like normal. Outside of, obviously everybody's still being masked and and otherwise, and therefore the overall volume level being that little bit higher because everybody was trying to talk to be able to be heard through 2 or 3 extra layers. But it was outside of that, it felt pretty normal. I'm hoping I might get out to Gen Con this coming year, so we'll see what it's like stateside at that point.
Sounds like wider aisles might be just a good thing for
Oh,
medicine
absolutely.
in general,
Yeah.
from what I've heard
Yeah.
about the past.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Never mind the pandemic. It's just like, might
Yeah, there
help.
seem to be slightly fewer of the I'm wearing 18 backpacks and carrying 4 trolleys.
Not backpacks, board game bags, the
Yeah,
big cube.
which are great until you turn around and
Yeah.
then
Those don't seem to be as prevalent there, or at least they weren't, as they
Yeah.
are at American
It's
board gaming conventions.
it's the trolleys that take out your ankles are the worst bit.
Oh,
But no, it was reasonably like normal.
Good. Cool.
I didn't go last year because it was I would have had to drive through like 4 different countries worth of COVID restrictions and varying rules, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks in each country.
Yeah.
No, not so much that, but like every given the route goes through France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and then into Germany. That's 4 different sets of differing restrictions that are similar but not quite the same, that you just have to go through. And I didn't know that I would be able to go until maybe about a month out, and at which point there's no hotel space. It wasn't worth the cost and effort for what was definitely a much reduced show. And even this year there were not that many of the US companies present that you've seen over there before. It was much more sort of European show, still representation from all around the world, but not so many of the bigger US companies around that we've seen in previous years.
Yeah.
When we go, Jeff and Debbie, we usually rent a house or an apartment. So
oh,
that in mind, if you want.
All right.
all right. It's good
that's
to keep
awesome.
in mind.
It's pretty early, but are you considering going next year?
I mean, yeah, we're considering going. We just gotta see what the world looks like.
Yeah.
The hard part is we want to have we want to go and have a booth for the Spiel Foundation. We're just at that point, right, where that makes the most sense to be able to spread the word, and we can run little mini Spielathons and take meetings with publishers to get, because there's still lots of people who don't know what we're doing, and we can do a little recording along the way too. But like, we have to make the decision the end of March because there's a non-refundable deposit on the booth space that has to happen in I think it's like March 31st, April 1st, something like that. So that's the hardest. That's why we didn't go this year, because it was like there was no way last March that we could predict, and I couldn't just flush $5,000 of the Spiel Foundation.
Think you could find a publisher that would hotel in their booth?
We've done that for so many years, Jeff. It's just time for us to have control.
Time to grow up and get your own.
Yes.
Because I've learned, I mean, we're so grateful to have done that for so many years. It was wonderful, but there's also strings attached. You come and you lay out what you think you're going to get, and then they're like, "Oh, would you mind if you had half the amount of space that we were going to give you?" And we said we could give you tables, but we can't give you tables.
Oh no!
It's stuff like that.
You can't have actual access to electrical power.
Yeah, that was.
No!
Yeah, running out and getting lots of batteries and having to swap batteries through the entire process, and running out of batteries with Antoine Boza and was it Okathala, like right in the middle of the interview.
Oh,
guys, you got to stop because we got to change batteries or we can't finish the interview.
This doesn't look so professional. Thank you.
So it's just time for us to do that. So, and it's a good thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. But
sure.
It just complicates the matters when you've got the state of the world to factor into it, and spending. For most people that might not be a trivial amount, but for the foundation, spending $5,000 and not getting anything out of it, I can't really do that.
Yeah, not really.
But it's on the agenda. If things go the way we hope, we will be there this fall.
Cool.
So, Stephen, it's time to move on
Okay.
from this part to the
Sure.
next part, which
All
would
right.
be I would invoke the classic Christmas movie Die Hard.
Just quickly before you go on, Stephen.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
what are you drinking? I need to.
You know what? It's mapping it out with my background. Let me turn off.
Please.
Let me turn off the background.
What are you drinking?
Done. There we go. Glenn Farkless 25. Is that backwards?
Oh, very nice.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Very nice.
That's very nice.
Cheers.
Mm.
Yours.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Salud.
Virtually.
I've never even heard of that.
It's very nice.
Ew.
But you got to get the old stuff. It's
You
very
almost
smooth.
Support my whiskey.
25.
Is it a Scotch? Is it a
Yeah. Yeah.
It says Glen on it. It's going to be a Scotch.
I
There
don't
you
know the
go.
rules on those
Yeah.
things. So
Highland single malt Scotch whiskey.
Wasn't Scott Farkas 25? For
No.
all the Christmas
Excuse
story,
me. That's Scott in Christmas Story. His name is Scott and not Scott.
oh
Okay.
wow.
Okay. Well, let's
I
move
know
on.
it's so we're moving on to Die Hard. Of course, we all know the story of plucky cop John McClane, who finds himself the one man who can stop an evil plot. The movie's most famous scene features a memorable showdown with the mastermind, Hans Gruber. So, in the spirit of that scene, tell us of the one thing you would be glad to see fall from the heights of Nakatomi Plaza. Anybody?
One thing. Huh.
Just that one thing you'd be like, goodbye. Thanks. Never
Hmm.
need to see that again.
Probably shouldn't mention people.
I was going to say, you're going to skip all the obvious. There's a good long list of people.
You know, Govins, if it's not being mean, I think it's okay. We're
Somebody
not
would
known
think-
for mean, but we are known for honest.
Hmm.
Daryl looked like he had somebody. I don't know. He gave a very evil grin.
And I think Daryl is just like totally evil. It's
The
like,
list is too long.
Be pushing them off all night long.
but Daryl,
many-
if there's just one, my friend.
Just one thing I'd like to see back of. Let's go with ignorance.
Ooh.
A
Ooh,
nice.
just elevated it from.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all thinking Trump, so
lowering the tone here. No.
You got deep on us there, man.
yeah.
Well done, my friend.
Or at least willful ignorance.
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
I have something.
I have to roll, see how many points that's worth. Oh, that was worth 6 points, Daryl.
Go, Debbie.
I would like to, from the top, as long as there's no people underneath, because I don't want them hurt. I would love to see what happens to a bottle of Ardbeg, because that's the worst whiskey ever.
Should I go get one of those?
No.
I would love to see what happens. Be like
I-
a scientific experiment.
Debbie, are you going for ultimate negative points?
You bet.
Deb, you want me to bring you a little glass of
No,
Ardbeg, and then you
no,
can do a
thank
review
you.
here?
No,
live?
No,
I
no,
think people would
thank you.
appreciate a live Ardbeg
No, no. But thank you for offering.
Come on. Did you watch our last thing with Bruce, who ate a spoonful of mayo?
Clam flavored mayonnaise.
Ew.
That
Really?
doesn't need to exist.
Did you watch that?
So during the Spielathon, at the end of the Spielathon, was it 2 years ago? He offered if people paid enough money, he would try horse flavored potato chips.
I remember.
Yeah.
You were there for that. So we did. So the Redux this year, he ate fugu flavored potato chips, which he was like, they're kind of gross, but he felt like we didn't get our money's worth. So he went to his refrigerator and got a giant jar of clam fit flavored mayonnaise and just took a giant spoonful
Oh my God.
and
Like,
ate it.
does
I mean-
it even need to exist, let alone a giant jar of it?
He bought
Other
it as a.
Other
Go
than this was Bruce, why would anybody have a jar of clam flavored mayo in their fridge?
Or make
Nobody
one?
would.
Yeah.
Nobody would.
Apparently, I think it was the Cards Against
Right back.
Humanity people
Ah,
that did it
oh,
as
that
a
makes
sense.
gag
Right.
thing. It's supposed
That
to be like
explains a lot.
Clams Casino mayonnaise, I think was the idea, which in theory doesn't sound horrible, but
Yeah, it does.
Bruce's word of advice was never eat a spoonful of mayonnaise.
Period. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
it doesn't. You know.
Yep.
All right. So the thing I think we've just learned though from Debbie is that Jeff, you might need to keep your bottles of scotch in like bubble wrap in case she decides to push them from high places. So
Yeah,
that
I think I'm safe. She knows better than to mess with the whiskey.
So I have a collection of that I've had for a while of weird foods. This is my, I've never tried it, amber insect candy.
It looks
Wow.
totally normal.
Yeah, it looks pretty
You know what?
good.
Can you turn it back over? That's a stroke of genius. Insect inside.
yes,
Yes.
that is good.
And let's see what else I have. I have
Oh, you ever, I don't want to give it away. Do you have those
this
potatoes yet?
is someone gave me this. Be incredibly creative, instantly cinnamon flavored gum.
Oh yeah.
And let's see. I have Poppy Squirrel chewing gum.
Oh,
Good.
Oh yes.
I know somebody who would love that.
Really? And I
Love
have,
squirrels.
oh yeah, I got this from a friend when I was going through menopause. Hot Flash.
Hot flash.
Hot Flash peppermints, rock and rolls, mints with a message. Those do I
Don't you have
here.
some potato chips?
I think I got rid of those because they broke and
Oh.
it was horrible. And Life Musk flavored Lifesavers.
Oh yeah.
Get a whole lot more out of life with Musk Save. And I think they came from Australia.
I think
so.
I've had musk flavored lifesavers, and they were from Australia. I was going to ask you if that was where you.
Oh,
got
it was
that
from
like
a friend because
Muskmelon or musk, like, the
I
scent.
don't know.
it.
I'm not sure. I've never tried it. I don't think I would try it. Oh, it's made in Australia.
Don't
That's
ask
right.
where Musk is from.
Like
Not
what-
Elon.
Whose musk is it? Like,
Trying to think what else I could show you. I'll be right back. I have lots of interesting things.
okay.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Francie, what would you push from? I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this.
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you just like put?
Mr.
Bye.
Peanut. I'm pushing Mr. Peanut.
Oh, okay.
Miss Peanut allergy.
Yeah. Miss Peanut allergy is, like, goodbye.
Which reminds me, Gubbins, I saw what was probably the perfect Christmas gift for you, which I passed by, which was a Reese's cup that was, I kid you not, like 5 feet long
Wow.
at Target. And I thought, should I get that for Gubbins?
How did you
And
pass that up?
I
Yeah, and then
know.
you thought, how am I going to carry that home?
It
You
was
just
very
wheel it out.
large. Yeah.
The problem is,
Feel it
no
out.
matter how big that thing is, I'm going to eat it in one day. So you're just,
We just find him like passed out
Well,
in
I
the middle of
was-
the cup.
I was debating whether or not it would have proper ratios. I know that's an important factor for you in the
I
It's true,
think,
because every mouthful would be either pretty much all chocolate or all peanut butter.
I think the perfect ratio are those holiday ones.
yeah. And see,
Oh,
this was
I'm
gonna be-
sorry. I have an earlier question. Is it a Reese's cup or a Reese's cup?
Like the monkey?
Yeah.
They're all
The
poison.
monkey
to me.
cup.
There's no one in this part of the United States that pronounces Reces as Reese's, but rather as Reese's.
You say Reese's.
Yeah,
Reese's.
it's
Reese's. Like
clearly,
possessive.
Yeah, a cup
Right.
belonging to Reese.
Right, exactly. But nobody says it's a Reese's.
Well, I think you have
That's-
evidence to the contrary, my
Yes.
friend, because there are several people on this call who say it.
I
Well,
also
they are
have a
clearly
cousin
wrong.
who has
Red, yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Reese's sounds a little too much like another word that you wouldn't want to be. in your
I'm taking
food.
points off right now.
but my
Doug-
cousin
Doug-
has a child named Reese, so Reese is what most readily comes to my mind, but I don't eat them, so I don't
Of course you
I don't
don't.
have occasion to pronounce that word.
Hey, Doug, usually when I hear when it's not Reese's, I hear Reese. No S on the end. Reese cup. That's what I
Oh.
hear.
Oh,
that's
even
common.
better. Like, where's the possessive S?
The pedant award goes to Doug for
Yeah. And the only reason that I know that the store Kroger is not Kroger's, because everyone always said Kroger's, is one day we were going there and it was nighttime and the K was burned out. So it just said Roger.
Yeah.
All right, so if anyone out there wants this, let me know because I don't have room for anymore. I had this
Squirrely.
giant. It's a fridge magnet, but a fridge magnet that friends gave me. But also, it comes with all, and I'm totally serious. If any of you want it,
Maybe you
it
could
comes-
illustrate that squirrel somehow, and Stephen could put it in the art auction.
But look, you could
Oh,
put stuff
oh.
on it.
Wow.
A baseball,
There you
and
go.
I'm like, look, sweater.
That's hilarious.
And no, honestly, I am happy to. I don't know if you could mail magnets to anything, but look at all the stuff. It's so cool.
color forms.
I know, and like,
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, look at that.
I know someone who would
Da, da,
want
da.
that. So
Really?
yes. So if you give it to Stephen and he puts it in the auction or
Okay, I will.
Wants a donation, I'll donate to
All right,
to get that for someone. So
I will do that. I will do that.
And
That
you left
that is
some-
going in the auction. That's
You
going
left
in the
some
auction.
rabbit ears behind there or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, look at it. It's all season, all
that's
season.
hilarious.
Like, look at, oh, it's obviously. Oh, St. Patrick. Excellent. Okay, I'll put these in the, I'll pack these up.
and I-
So should I just mail them to you, Stephen, or what?
Sure.
Okay.
Or I mean, it's possible we might see each other in Florida that we haven't discussed.
Oh, that's
that.
true. That's
Yeah, I
true.
emailed Stephen. to let him
I
know.
got your email. I just haven't responded.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
worries.
All right.
you've been busy, so.
And when I say she will like it, she better like it.
She will like it.
She loves squirrels. So
All
she loves
right.
squirrel
Special.
board games and yeah.
You could just send it
Important
straight to
Canada.
Gubbins, or well, we've got Stephen's address.
Yeah, Stephen.
You guys, you're in Indy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him every week.
He's part of the playtest crew that plays every Tuesday here.
I
at the-
show up when the doors open and he can't.
yeah, like I'm here.
Let's see. I've got. I think I'm gonna go Daryl's route with my response. Although Gubbins, I mean, you said no people, right? Because I was thinking like the entire New England Patriots team.
Yeah.
I thought, but
Well, that would be pretty dramatic. I mean, that's
yeah,
like all at
Nice
once, or
splat.
one after another, like lemmings, or
53 nice splats, you know.
Or just the ones that cheat. So yeah, all of them.
No, but I'm going to go analysis paralysis.
Ooh,
guilty.
Abstract concept being pushed off the edge. That's my offering.
Stephen, that was worth 2 points.
Well, you know,
Right there.
my points are not great tonight, but that's fine.
I've thought of one. I'm going to keep it board game related, and I'm going to say any and all versions of Monopoly.
Like,
Someone told me
Monopoly
there's-
Deal is a decent game.
What is?
Monopoly Deal is a decent game.
I don't know. I just know somebody said that there was a Bob Ross edition of Monopoly, and my friend likes Monopoly, and I'm like, you could skin it however you want, Bob Ross or whatever. I don't want to play Monopoly.
The David Bowie one that
That
you
was
said,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that yesterday. Yeah.
that's
Really?
just wrong. David Bowie,
on.
Monopoly.
Yeah, I saw it in a store.
What are the properties? Different songs or something? Or
I think that's what it was.
I took a picture and sent it to Steve. He's like, that should not exist. I said,
Yeah, that's just. Ooh. Who hasn't gone? Everybody? Jeff?
Uh,
Doug, did I get any points for that?
Oh,
1 point. Woohoo.
Yes. 1 arbitrary point. Stephen got 2 arbitrary points.
Yes.
Doug, who would you push off of Nakatomi? You don't get off the hook.
Yeah.
That you made up these
I
questions.
phrased it as what, not
Okay, what?
who,
Who, what, where, when, why?
but what.
when 2020.
Yes, yes.
Fair.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
be-
what? 2020?
No,
Yes,
when.
yeah.
Who? Push a
I'll be
when.
right- I'll be right back.
Push. He was saying you could push an entire year off the.
Well,
A who,
yes.
a what, a when.
The last 3 years have been kind of, yeah.
Not so easy, mister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I favor the whole, I'm the question master. You,
I don't have to answer my own question.
no, not me.
That's
Come
the
on.
that's the danger of making me the guest and you the host. Is I'm an ornery guest.
You bastard. What thing would I push off?
You could have Debbie and Jeff answer the first round too while we're vamping.
I could, because Debbie and Jeff,
Yes.
That was a good
you were
question.
both there. So, yeah. Diehard like, what would you prefer to push off? Nakatomi Plaza.
No,
Oh,
I
I
was
know.
I
saying
already answered. I
Oh,
already
no.
answered.
Doug, I was saying the Christmas story question. You could ask them that.
Oh. That made me
Retroactive
go
chance
back.
for us to get a few points here.
Yes.
Yeah. That would make me go back. Damn it.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
We can
No,
pair.
I'm going back. I'm going back. So, oh yeah. So in A Christmas Story, poor Ralphie has a thing he really wants. Of course, what's not on his wish list is the pink bunny suit that he receives from his aunt. So in the spirit of that movie, tell us about one gift you were given that didn't quite hit the mark. It doesn't have to be a Christmas gift. Tell us about one thing you received that was
Gift.
memorable for you for all the wrong reasons. Inappropriate, ill-fitting, tasteless, tacky. Yeah, we still want to hear it.
I'm trying to think.
I'll answer.
Okay.
My
Jeff.
answer is no gift. At some point in the distant past, my mother forgot about me.
Oh,
Basically,
Oh,
Your
yeah,
own
that's
mother.
right.
there
Yeah.
was the whole
your
family
own mother
tradition of
forgot you were on the planet.
we would all open our big present on Christmas Eve, and kids were going through things, and I'm looking around, and
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Horror.
I
So-
forgot about that.
So,
There was
Jeff,
nothing.
were there 8 or more of you?
No, there were only 3. That's the sad thing.
Were you the middle child?
No, I'm the oldest. That could be it. Yeah, maybe I'd outgrown it in her mind. I can't remember, but it was pretty funny.
Because, I would award like 10,000 extra points if you were the middle child. Everything I know about
yeah, I'm the middle child. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the ticket.
being the middle child. Like, oh, yeah, that's my experience. But
All right, Deb, you're up.
I can't think of anything that I didn't really. I'm trying to think of anything. Can you remember anything? I don't remember anything. I tend to get a lot of squirrels. From I don't know if you guys
Can't
know, but
imagine
I have
how.
this. I know it's not obvious, but I have this thing with squirrels. But and it all began when I was in university. You asked me, I have to explain. So when I was in university in first year, I took first year biology, animal biology, and because that's my alternate career, going animal. But anyway, and so I chose squirrels, and I live in Toronto, and there's this park called Queen's Park in Toronto that's notorious for all kinds of squirrels. And I thought, oh, I'll take some peanuts into Queen's Park and I'll take notes and everything. And I innocently, no one warned me, went with a bag of peanuts into Queen's Park. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I ended up running out of Queen's Park, running, like throwing peanuts behind me with a squirrel, like trying to climb up my leg. And so they're big, they are huge squirrels, and they're vicious. And so anyway, ever since then, my friends have not let me forget that. And so for the longest time, all I got were squirrels. I have, just looking around, I have stuffed squirrels,
we just saw a lot
squirrel
of it.
cups, squirrels, yeah, that's squirrels, squirrel ornaments, squirrel chocolate squirrels. Those are okay because I could eat their heads off first. All kinds of squirrels. And then I actually did a picture book. Wait, so you have to show you a second. A picture book called Where Are My Books? And I got to put squirrel on these squirrels. They steal. Okay, wait a second. There's a little boy who hey, look how cleverly I'm promoting one of my books. Anyway, so there's a little boy who loves reading, but someone's stealing his books, and lo and behold, it is the squirrels are stealing his books. Oh wait, oh there, stealing his books. Squirrels didn't know like to read. And so anyway, I actually originally wanted to put little fangs and on the squirrels and red eyes, but my editor wouldn't let me. So. And I can't remember the original question. Oh yeah, so squirrels.
Although I think we've got an answer for what you'd like to throw off the top of.
Yes, I think we just figured that out.
And I'm not exaggerating, and Jeff can corroborate. Squirrels have cut off our power. They've cut off our internet. They have moved into my office sometimes in the walls, and
it's all true.
It's true. Yeah, that's all true. Toronto squirrels. Beware of Toronto squirrels. Oh, and here's my latest. Oh, see, here's just latest. So I have a squirrel cleaner that my niece gave me, and also just this past year, someone gave me some Secret Squirrel Society.
Oh, that's Cedric.
I am awarding 4 points because if you don't give the clearly disturbed something, they will.
And I also learned the hard way that you shouldn't feed squirrels.
Really?
Florida squirrels are also not to be trusted. So if you feel like you need to feed a squirrel in Florida, don't do that either.
Francie.
Only if it's to a gator.
Only to a gator.
Francie, what in Florida should be trusted?
Well, I don't know, but definitely not the squirrels.
Monaco.
That trip ended in me getting a tetanus shot. So.
Oh no! Really? Oh my god. That's
I'm
pretty
saying
bad.
it's still 0.
Don't yet.
We haven't thought about torturing gubbins with chipmunks the way Debbie's getting tortured.
Yeah, I just
Squirrels,
realized I should take that monopoly away and say chipmunks, but I don't hate them that much. I hate them a lot, but hearing all of the things that Debbie said, yeah, I think you win. So I have not been tormented quite as much.
Fun fact, black squirrels, which are relatively rare in most of North America, but pretty common in the Northeast, and in particular in Washington, D.C., the theory is originated in Toronto. In fact, the black squirrels in Washington and some other East Coast cities were actually, some were intentional, some were unintentional transplants from Toronto. So wow. There you go.
So the source of evil is from.
Yeah. Well, Debbie hates all squirrels, not just the black ones. But the Queen's Park squirrels are famously jet black squirrels. Clearly evil. I mean, come on. Sinister. What is he? Oh, I was going to say, what is he carrying or holding? But I see now.
Little birdie.
Yep. I like his tongue. That's
Yeah.
a disturbing.
This is the kind of thing I can't really put in picture books, so it's very therapeutic for me.
Oh, we're
I don't
so
know.
glad we could be there for you.
Thank you.
I think it just has to have a different target audience than
Yeah, exactly.
It's totally a Squirrels Are Evil picture book out there.
Oh yeah.
The whole series.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, but I mean, with your attitude towards squirrels, you just you market it towards all the squirrel haters instead of
That's true. That's true. But actually, I remember going to one. This is without me talking about evil squirrels or anything. I remember the first one of my book tours. I was talking to this whole gymnasium full of kids about where are my books, and I was telling them the fun, lighthearted part of the squirrel thing. And there was one little girl. She wanted to ask me a question. She was like kindergarten. I went yes, and she said, "Did squirrels hurt people?" And I could see all the adults in the gymnasium freeze up. And I said, "No, of course not. They don't. They're all friendly." And then another little boy beside her went, "Yes, they do. I read it in the news." And so I changed the topic.
Surely the answer is only emotionally.
So certainly at this point, Stephen,
yes.
we are ready for some wonderful, incredibly creative jokes from Francie Brody.
Yeah, this is why I thought I'd miss this part.
The whole reason you called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, certainly this is like the highlight.
All right, I have to have a little more in my glass. For this,
like,
all right, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Bubbling, yeah.
Already. Yeah.
Jokes that'll make you drink.
I hope that none of these are repeats from years past, but
No one
that
will
would
remember.
never
No one will.
Gubbins has a spreadsheet.
Really?
True.
I did not have it handy.
It was a Word document.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry.
That's much
Oh,
different.
that's
Much
totally different. Yeah.
Yes. So your first one is, what do you call a factory that makes okay products?
A mectory.
A satisfactory.
Yeah, where's the soundboard there, Stephen? You got some
Yeah.
groans.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yes. How does the moon cut his hair? He clips it.
Oh.
That's the extra painful. These are all like just a hair out of consciousness. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yes.
I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
bad.
yet,
Yeah.
What kind of car does an egg drive?
She's grinning really big. This is gonna be,
yeah.
gonna be
You know
really
it's not
bad.
going to be good. It's going to be terrible.
You're not supposed to laugh at your own jokes. You know that.
I know, but I can.
What is it?
A Volkswagen.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes. So, how do you make 7 even? You take away the S.
Stephen, are we waiting to drink until it's over?
No, I think it's fine.
Oh no.
Fine.
Drink liberally.
Now is definitely
Do
the
not
time
stop.
because they're getting worse. What is the best smelling insect? A deodorant.
can I interrupt with just one or two?
Sure.
Please.
What is a flat earther's favorite clothing brand?
Flatagonia.
Land's End.
Okay.
What was the? Oh, what do you call it when a hen looks at lettuce? A chicken sees her salad.
Whoa.
Deb, I think you need to start a new drawing.
Yeah. I'm giving points for that. I think you want to know how many.
Really? Don't encourage it.
Negative
Don't
points, I hope.
Yeah.
Points for everybody else who had to put up with it.
Yeah.
I think we all get points.
We
Okay, Francie, I'm done.
All right. What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account?
I know.
Reese's. Oh, sorry.
No, Reese's. Come on, you got to get it right.
Reese's, come on.
Primates.
Oh,
Oh.
What does garlic do when it gets too hot? It takes its cloves off.
oh.
So did you make these up?
No.
Right, that's negative
If
points
she
right
did,
there.
she
I know
should.
that one.
She shouldn't claim them if she
Yeah,
does.
well, I don't know. Yeah, there's like,
These are good. These are great. You're
yeah,
brilliant.
half of me thinks she should claim it if she did, and
Yeah.
half thinks she should not.
These are brilliant.
Yes. And why shouldn't you buy things with Velcro?
Why, Francie?
They're a total
Rip
ripoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we got a few knock knock jokes, so I'm gonna need some little participation. So knock knock.
Come in.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Biggs.
Big's who?
Ew.
Biggs the doorbell. I've been knocking for hours.
She's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
This might work with your elementary school programs,
might.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Soften up the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, knock knock.
Who's there?
Catch.
Catch who?
Bless you.
Ugh.
Mm.
I'm liking the other ones better, which is
Yeah. You started out kind
Yes.
of okay. This is
I never thought I'd be saying.
Okay.
These
Oh,
are brilliant. These are great.
yes. Which vegetable do sailors hate the most?
Leaks.
artichokes.
Oh, Daryl got it.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Leeks.
Yes, good.
Very good.
Oh.
I mean, I hate to say it, but bring back Ezra.
I gotta say, this doesn't speak highly for Daryl. He's getting points, but
Oh, I got two more. What kind of key opens a banana?
A monkey.
Yes.
Oh.
go. Holy cow.
The psychic link
Yes.
across the Atlantic to Francie has been initiated here. Daryl and
Must be the volume of alcohol.
yes.
Yes.
And the last joke of the evening is, why did Beethoven get rid of his chickens? Because all they ever said was bok, 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 bok.
That's good.
Wow.
I like
actually
that
like
one a
that.
lot.
I actually like that one.
That was my favorite.
I have to admit, I like that one.
All right.
There you go.
Well,
Those are my
I'm-
Doug's
bad.
furiously writing down points there. I don't know what.
I'm giving points here.
Yeah.
So
He's erasing all my previous points.
He's going to give pointers.
He's taking the scoring very
The
seriously.
sad thing is, he's the one that asked for them.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm the one that did what?
You asked for jokes.
Well,
opened the
yes,
floor.
as a host, I was honor bound. Like if I had passed Francie by and just gone, we're not doing that shit. She'd have been like, I can't do that.
It's tradition. This is
So-
the 10th. This is the 10th holiday party, by the way, Jeff.
No, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
17
I
days.
do have 3 players who are in for the big points,
Okay.
whatever that means. I don't know.
I'm strong with that Imperial Stack, Doug.
By my reckoning, believe it or not, Daryl has 15 points.
Yay, Daryl.
Woo!
And tied are Francie and Gubbins at 13. So we just started another round.
Nice.
There you go.
Tiebreaker, tiebreaker.
Ooh, you never know.
This is really tense.
I know.
I'm not going to be
so-
able to sleep.
I know it's driven Stephen and I to drink, so it's done.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Don't
So,
need that much of a reason.
not this, but that. So here's your questions. We're going to start with Daryl, since you're in the lead. And this question is worth 2 points. So it is the 80th anniversary, Daryl, of the iconic film Casablanca.
hmm
So we might stop and ask some tough questions. So, one, throughout the filming, Humphrey Bogart's wife, Mayo Method, would show up on set to accuse Bogey of having an affair with his leading lady. What was Bogey's pet name for his wife? Multiple choice. Here you go. Was it Sluggy, Buggy, Slappy, or Dummy?
Yikes.
What was Humphrey Bogart's pet name for his wife, Mayo Method, who would show up and accuse him of having an affair with Ingrid Bergman? Sluggy, Buggy, Slappy, or Dummy?
Sound like rejected dwarf names.
I have no idea. Yeah,
Well, that's
let's,
why I gave you that question. Thanks for playing.
let's go for dummy.
Dummy is a good name, but it's worth 0 points. I'm sorry. The correct answer is Sluggy,
Sluggy.
because of her tendency to punch him. Like literally just let go and go bam.
That's why I was going to say slappy, because she slapped him.
Yeah, no, she didn't hold back. She was
Wow.
full fist, knock him to the ground.
And what was her name?
Mayo Method.
Mayo, M-A-Y-O.
Mayothometoht.
Hmm.
She was an actress who was actually famous before he was. And
Was it short for mayonnaise?
no,
I just had to.
nice try. All right.
Last name was short for methadone.
Methadone. Yeah.
Mayonnaise methadone.
You two are next. So you're in the Casablanca zone. Who wants to go next?
Francie, you're next.
Okay. Well,
Ask
this'll
them
be
if either one
interesting.
of them have seen Casablanca.
Oh,
Thir-
well, there's
30
a question.
30 years ago, yes.
Francie.
Yes.
Okay.
You've not
So,
seen
Francie, at one point in the early 2000s, Madonna wanted to remake the movie starring herself as Ilsa. Who did she want as Rick?
Wow. I kind
Hey.
of wish that had happened.
Yeah.
These are tough questions. A, Tom Hanks. B, Ashton Kutcher.
Oh.
C, Al Pacino. Or D, Willem Dafoe. So Madonna remake of Casablanca with either Tom Hanks, Ashton Kutcher, Al Pacino, or Willem Dafoe.
I'm gonna go Al Pacino. Seems like
Nice guess. However, Madonna's choice was Ashton Kutcher.
really. Wow.
Whoa.
Really?
What a
Yes.
train wreck that would have been. He's too young. He's too young for that role, too. Like, what the heck?
Well, there were people who said that Bogart was too old, so
Okay, good point.
Gubbins, we come back to you, sir.
How many points is this worth if somehow I guess
It's
correctly?
like almost everything, man.
Are you going to try harder if it's worth a lot of points?
Yeah.
No, I just want to know how many I'm not going to get.
So, at the time of filming, who was the only cast member to have actually visited Casablanca? Was it A, Humphrey Bogart, who played Rick, B, Dooley Wilson, who played Sam, C, Conrad Veidt, who played Major Strasse, or D, Ingrid Bergman, who played Ilsa?
I'm going with Ilsa.
For sure? Final answer?
That tells me that it's wrong, but I'm still going with it.
Yay,
Extra bonus
team.
points.
Yes, because the answer was Dooley Wilson.
Did know
So-
that one.
Yeah. What's that?
I said I did know that one.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah.
So, we're in this thing. I don't know how to resolve it. I don't think it matters, but
You didn't have a tiebreaker, Doug, to break the tie there?
Do we
well,
not?
actually,
It's a nice shared victory.
Yes, you could just have shared victory.
Yeah.
I
sure,
could,
victory.
but
Gotta be a
I do-
tiebreaker. Come on.
I
Daryl's
do
in the
have a
lead,
couple
so-
more questions because one, we didn't do the weird come on, go back. We didn't do the second weird British
royal?
nobility
Yeah.
person,
Oh, right.
right? And I still had a Casablanca question. So, who wants to grab for some points?
I will. Since I think I have 0 points.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
any
like it.
points would.
What if Debbie, Jeff, and I combine our points?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
we-
All
Yeah.
right. The three of you masterminds, this is worth like 8 points.
We
Which
have
will
a
be 8
chance, you
more than our
guys.
total.
We have a chance.
We can do it.
All right. There you go. Sir Tatton Sykes. Did he, one, have a pathological hatred of flowers so extreme that he would beat to smithereens with his walking stick any flower he encountered upon his walks? Did he, two, regularly chide his neighbors who tried grow of? This is where we start over again, Stephen. Did he regularly chide his neighbors who tried to grow flowers? If you want to grow flowers, grow sunflowers. Did he live his later years almost exclusively on a diet of rice pudding? Did he refuse to leave his house during a fire, claiming he hadn't finished his pudding?
A lot of pudding.
Yeah.
Pudding. Or did he become convinced that maintaining an even temperature was essential to good health? To that end, he would wear as many as 7 pairs of pants and coats, shedding them as he warmed. So, hatred of flowers, beating with a stick, chiding his neighbors to grow sunflowers, eating nothing but rice pudding, refusing to leave the house during a fire because he hadn't finished his pudding, or wearing 7 pairs of pants and coats.
I think it's one of the pudding ones because he mentioned pudding twice.
Yeah,
But
same
which
with
one?
flowers though. I'm not
Yeah,
thinking-
that's true. That's
maybe the
true.
guy who was beating flowers to death on his walks wouldn't want sunflowers even.
Yeah,
Thinking
Yeah.
it's one of
Does seem
those.
a little
that's
odd.
true. That's true. Yeah, maybe the sunflower one, maybe.
Steven,
I mean,
you're the arbiter here.
Yeah.
I like that one. I kind of went with the pudding angle though too. I like the what were the two pudding? One he only ate pudding, and the other was he wouldn't
He-
leave his house.
In his later years.
He wouldn't
Rice-
leave because
rice pudding, and then refused to leave his house during a fire because he hadn't finished his pudding.
I'm not sure about that one either. Yeah.
yeah, but that seems so specific. It might be depends on how.
Doug might have made it up, you mean?
Yeah.
What? What?
Or it's so specific it could be true, and
That's what.
or the
That's
more
what I.
general
think.
one. That the one that's more general seems like the easier thing to write.
Yeah.
I like either sunflowers or eating pudding all the time.
Yeah, chiding the neighbors and suggesting they grow sunflowers doesn't actually seem all that eccentric. So
Yeah, that's true.
let's go with that one.
All right.
Okay, sunflowers is false.
Sunflowers is false is correct.
Yes.
Is correct. Yes, because what he said
100
was,
points.
if you must grow flowers, grow cauliflower,
Ah, see, that makes more.
Oh, yeah.
not sunflowers.
I like it. 1,000
That's-
points, Doug, right?
Something like somewhere between 8 and 1,000 points. Yeah.
1,000 points alike.
1,000 points.
Yes, thank you. There was one more here with the Casablanca. So, anybody could get in here.
Why don't we just, ring in when we have an answer?
It's a freaking free-for-all. For an American-made film, the credited cast is actually kind of low on actors born in the U.S. How many were there?
2.
A, 2, please, no wagering. B, 3, C, 4, and D, 6. 2, 3, 4, or 6.
I stick my 2.
4.
Well, we do it like game show style. If Gubbins is wrong, then someone else rings in.
Oh, I like that. Sure.
Yeah,
Is that what you want?
sure.
That's what you want.
He's bold. He went out, right
Yeah.
before it was even finished.
Well, Gubbins is bold and wrong.
All right.
Wrong.
It'll lose points if you're.
I think Daryl had a guess next.
Yeah.
right?
I went for 4.
You went for 4. Daryl, congratulations. You are wrong.
3.
Somebody said 3.
Getting easier.
Yeah.
All right. That is a correct answer. So,
Nice.
can you name the 3
Oh
actors?
gosh. No. You give me a
Really?
list of 3, I could pick 3.
Come on.
Well, Bogart,
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Humphrey Bogart was American, wasn't he? Right?
Huh?
Not born there.
Huh?
Not born there, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna guess that's part of the appeal of this issue. That he's not. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. I just knew the number.
The number was good. So Humphrey Bogart, born in upstate New York.
Did not know that.
All good. Yeah.
You're teaching us things. I'm learning stuff.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Dare
So
you,
sorry.
Doug. How dare you?
I
Yeah.
know. Julie Womack, who played Sam, also born in the United States. And Joy Page. The third person, you go, who? If you remember the little scene where there's the Bulgarian woman who has been offered transit visas from the terrible chief of police, but her husband's trying to gamble and get them enough money so they can just buy them. Joy Page was actually a studio producer's daughter, born in the United States. That was her credit. Like, there you go, kid. Those were the 3 cast members.
Nice.
So
thank you.
the question is, in all of this, who won? We all did.
Yay!
As Jeff
We-
storms off.
I came
noise.
roaring back.
What? Everybody got 1,000 points? Wow.
Wow.
Like, where were
What
the
a
hockey questions? Come on.
Well, thank you, Doug.
all-
Thank you, Doug, for putting
Yes.
together
Thank
the
you, Doug.
silliness.
Thank you.
I didn't even get to ask the last
Well,
silliness here.
you can ask it now.
Well, okay.
Is that a
So-
candy wrapper, Debbie?
Yes, Lindor. I was
Nice.
actually my accountant actually told me I draw with chocolate wrappers a lot. She said I could claim chocolate as a business expense if I want.
Woohoo.
Yes.
That's an accountant you want.
But I decided not to because it would just, I'm weak-willed and that would just give me more excuse to eat chocolate. So
I'm taking a break for 2 minutes and I
Okay.
will be back.
we'll miss
Steven?
you.
Stephen, when you said this was the 10th holiday party, that reminded me that I have this vague sense that the Spiel was one of the very first podcasts for gaming, if not the first. Do you have any comment on that?
We're not the first, I can
No.
say that definitively, but I believe we're like 4th or 5th. We're in the at least 6th. I don't think we're further down the list than 6th. Dice Tower was before us.
Was.
What? Really?
Yeah.
This has been a long time, but
But I mean, they started, but we were very close after them. Within months of them starting, we started. Aldi and Dirk had a podcast for
yes.
Oh, really?
Geek Speak. Well, actually, that was the
Yeah.
Was that the that was the original name, and then they changed it to Board Game Speak or something, which was a terrible.
which was that was a terrible thing. And then Mark Johnson with Board Games to Go.
Right.
Predated
Still-
us.
And still going. Yeah.
Yeah, and still going.
Yeah.
And I think he's the only one at this point who may have more episodes than us if we
Yeah.
combine all of our episodes together. But then it's us. So we're in the top 5 at least, top 4 or 5. I don't know. I haven't dug into the history that close, but I know there's at least 3.
Yeah.
Before us. But we're definitely somebody at Gen Con this year. We had a little meetup event thing, and they're like, "Oh man, you're like the OG podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't deny that. I'll own that. Sure, why not?"
Yeah. Sure. Close enough.
17 seasons. We just ended season 17. Believe it or not, it's crazy.
Wow. That'd be a great history article for the Geek or something. Somebody should really do the work and figure out exactly who was first and
Well volunteered.
stuff.
Say again, Daryl.
So well volunteered.
That's what I heard him say. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
It's kind of a little frightening that we're all so old that it's like this is ancient. You can't even remember. It's like, it's long ago. All right, kids, gather around.
It's
I'll tell you about
sad enough that I have to go back and go, did we do that on the show before? And
Yeah, really.
I have to go to the website to
Yeah, you know you're in trouble when you got to check your own website.
Like, thank God the website's there, because I couldn't remember, oh, geez, we did cover that 15 years ago.
Doesn't matter. Nobody knows.
Yeah. Everything old is new again.
Yeah.
How's life in Toronto these days?
It's good. It's good. I don't know. We got any complaints or?
No. Well, a lot of construction.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we've got a major subway line construction that has been going for 11 years now. It's currently 3 years overdue, and in their latest press conference about 3 weeks ago, they basically said, we don't know when it's going to be done. We're not even going to estimate anymore. So that's fun. and it's 2 blocks south of our house.
Yeah.
We're on a cul-de-sac, and we're, even though it's nearby, it doesn't affect us all that much. But
I remember you mentioning that the last time we visited, which was
right.
Something
That was a while ago.
Wasn't that recent?
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But no, Toronto's good. Lots going on, and
how's work for you these days?
Good. Busy. Our company's doing great. All good. Yeah. Back in the office 3 days a week. So almost normal.
Yeah.
Almost.
How's Becky, Daryl?
Fine and sensibly asleep.
Yeah, what time is it? You're in.
It is about 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
This was not set up for friendly European times. This was set up because it was the only time.
So I believe these days 52% don't want to be friendly to Europeans anyway.
Well done, sir.
Wow, Deb, you're gonna have to send that comb with the piece when you send it to the art auction.
Yeah.
Is it still going on, Stephen? Is the auction still?
The art auction ended today.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
But we'll gladly accept pieces for future ones. We had some lovely. France, there was a bidding war on the end for your gnomes there, Francie. There were several of them.
The gnomes went great.
Exciting.
Yeah, most of them went for about $50 a pop. So
Oh wow.
nice job, Francie.
That's good.
I'm
You
sorry.
saw-
I'm sorry I missed it.
Okay, I know you're busy as.
So I would put this in it if you want, but it's too late. But maybe for next year.
Yeah,
And
we
I could
There
and
you
I
go.
could put this in it.
Yeah.
And my squirrels are evil.
Sure.
And I could send this to you guys just for fun. All right.
That'd be
So,
awesome.
Stephen, you saw that somebody went in on the yarn.
Yes, I saw it was you.
Because Patty was like, Stephen, could you just put in a bid? Like, no, he can't do that. He's the auction originator. You could, if you establish, I don't want an account. I don't want to do that. I have an account. You want me to bid? Yes, because you have money in PayPal. So bid that. Okay, no problem.
Yes. I got a panicked email from Patty this morning going, "Oh my God, I need you to bid on this for me." And I was like, Patty, it's my auction. I can't bid on my own things. That's kind of
Yes.
against the rules of eBay. We frown upon that. And the funny thing is, Doug, that I was going to just buy them and send them to her as Christmas gifts. But you snuck in and bid on them before I could do that. So
I think it was meant to be. I can remember the days when literally it was okay for the auction holder to bid on shit of their own
yeah,
on eBay.
That's kind of called reserve bid.
Golden or otherwise.
say again, Daryl.
Like golden or otherwise.
Yeah. That, and I can remember when PayPal first came around, and they were like, "Here, we'll give you $20 to establish an account.
Yeah.
Just sign up, and then for every person that you knew that you sold something to, they would give you an extra $5." So it's like, I'm just making money on top of money.
I got 1 million people to sign up.
Yeah, literally. At one point, I
One-
had.
And now we've got Musk as a result. Great. That did not turn out the way we all wanted.
Not at all.
Doug, did you say you had one last thing you wanted, a topic or question you wanted to throw at us here? If you don't, that's fine. You just said something about that before you left.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. The last thing I was going to invoke was the spirit of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. So George Bailey is a person in a spot of trouble. His redemption comes when he finally learns to trust in the gifts he's owned all his life, his family and his friends, and to trust in those good things to carry him forward. So in that spirit, give us one good thing to share with your fellow Spielers. Something, it could be a cultural thing. It could be something you learned. It could be so many different things. If you want, I'll start.
Sure, go for it.
So we've enjoyed watching the very first season of Extraordinary Attorney Woo, which is the story of a Korean young woman who is autistic, but also quite brilliant. And she basically memorizes the legal code of Korea and excels at, becoming an attorney, and then gets hired on, and her different approach to life helps win cases and bring people over to her side. And it's a really lovely and fun series. I think there were 12 or 13 episodes in the first season, and it's been renewed. And quite charming is the word I would use for Extraordinary Attorney Woo. She's appealing. And the nice thing is the actress who plays Woo Young Woo is also autistic. So she has some, understanding of the world she's dealing with.
Is that on Netflix?
I think that's correct, Stephen.
Cool.
We watched that first part and it's like, yeah, you have somebody to root for, you got somebody, and then there's the associate in the office who's just like, you know what? I like you. And she doesn't know how to deal with that exactly, but it's her working that out.
But Debbie found it.
There you go.
Yeah, I've never tried watching it, but I've been curious about it because I've heard good things about it.
Oh, Deb, I think you would really, really like it.
So another thing I'd like to recommend on Netflix is Oni, Thunder God's Tale. It's so charming, and it is a limited series, and it has Japanese yokai, and the animation is so wonderful, and it's very heartwarming. So I'd like to recommend that. Plus, I'd like to recommend if you're looking for a peaceful, uplifting social media, I recommend Post. And you get you meet all kinds of people on Post, And one of the people that I met just recently, his name's Matthew Carlson, and he is a game designer, apparently. I'm not sure if any of you guys know him. He's also a design director at Creative Cloud at Adobe. And I'm participating. Oh, I lost it. I'm participating. He actually, where is it? He actually is having an online game that I've signed up for too. We're all going to play it on post, and he has a game called Wander Squares. I've never heard of that. And it'll be fun to try. And so that's one of my highlights, just meeting all kinds of people. But I definitely have to try watching this because that sounds pretty amazing.
I think you would love it. It's really charming. And there are, in every episode, there's a magic moment where she just gets this insight and her hair gets swept back. And of course, it's all based on one of her major obsessions. And it's just like, oh, you're having that moment, aren't you? Oh, I see what your connection is, which I think really helps those of us who aren't neurodivergent go, oh, I get it.
Very cool.
That's very cool. I've had my turn, so somebody else.
I'll go. So sticking with TV, something we really enjoyed in the last few months was a show on, now I'm not going to remember where it is because there are so many platforms, but it's called The Bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
It's on FX originally. I think it's
Okay.
available on Hulu as well, but it's on FX.
I mean, by the time a lot of this stuff gets
to
Canada, it's who knows where it is, but it's just fantastic. So it's about a Michelin star chef, I think, who and his brother passes away. I mean, this is just for those who apparently everybody here has seen it, but and he takes over the small kind of family. Was it Italian roast beef sandwich restaurant in Chicago?
Yeah,
Italian beef. Yeah,
but yeah, it's the most. I mean, I didn't really recognize a lot of. There were a few of the cast members I knew from before, but it's having watched so many big productions, the Lord of the Rings thing on Amazon, for example, that are not very good these days.
Yeah,
it's such a small production and such a simple, uninteresting premise, but it's tremendous. It's a triumph of writing and acting, and we love that.
I think the difference, Jeff, is that that's right down to the gut and the bone of what it is to run some enterprise that shouldn't be that successful, but just because you gutted it out and rallied the team, it's like, oh, this can work.
Yep. But it's just it's a tremendous, simple human story, and it just shows you.
And totally of that region. My mom grew up in Gary, Indiana, and from that region. And there are so many things in there that I'm like, oh my God, they definitely have people who know, like the secondary character who they call cousin, who isn't anybody, his cousin. All my Romanian relatives. I was like graduated high school before I realized there were like 3 people that I knew as cousin. They're not related to me.
They're not really.
Not at all. You just call them cousin because that's just the way things are up there, right? That's just how things go.
Yeah. It's delightful and just so well done. So, and I guess it was mentioned before, but in terms of board games, I think it was Daryl. Is Daryl still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Your thumbnail dropped off to the right side.
No, I'm here.
You mentioned Lacrimosa, and I actually just played it last week. A friend got it in, and I'd been very skeptical about it because, in my experience, when a game is kind of overly self-consciously an interesting theme or something unusual, they're more invested in doing a clever game about something really unusual, and the game isn't that good. But I was really surprised, and it's fantastic. So
it's easier to fail.
Yeah. And
it's certainly a fairly heavy game. It's about 3 kilos. I warn people when they pick it up off the shelf, like, no, both hands. That's heavy.
Yeah, but it's it looks like that's still in shrink there, Stephen.
It is. I just got it yesterday.
Okay, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, it was really it works.
Yeah, good to know.
It captures the theme well. It's an interesting game. So yeah, that was I know it's not a surprise. Everybody's very highly rated on the Geek and everything, but it was a bit of a surprise to me. It was so
Doesn't
good.
necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very
No, I've been looking at it also. Like, this seems like a Spiel kind of worthy of consideration game.
I wonder. Well, I mean, I don't know. Seems a little heavy and specific, but maybe.
That's not a thing for us. It's more like, did it do the thing well?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
it carry out the theme?
Oh, sorry, the Spiel. I was thinking of the award, Spiel des Jahres. Never mind. Sorry, not telling you what you should.
Feel like podcast.
Yeah, no,
like
that's it'd be
us.
great. That'd be a great one for an episode for you guys. Yeah, where they're getting into the history and the story of it all, and yeah, for sure.
And I think we both got votes for women coming, Stephen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a game about the suffragette movement
Oh,
by
Yeah, maybe
Because
because I mean I can't think of specific ones, but I have this gut feeling in the past that when something was too thematic, if you will, it's harder to succeed. I think, but
a game like Votes for Women is like
Mhm.
right there.
I mean, once you double down on a theme and say it's going to be about it, you better do it right, or you better do the homework because you've raised expectations.
yeah, or it's easier
It's
to think.
it's going to actually address that theme in some substantive way, and if it doesn't do that, then
Yeah.
does it succeed as a game? Does it succeed on the theme? Does it succeed at both?
Yeah.
Those are kind of three questions.
Yeah, that's. I mean, my sense is it's easy to think the theme is enough if it's an interesting theme. But and that's kind of what I was afraid of with, it's like I don't know the opposite of a pasted on theme, like pasted on game.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
We'd like it to work on all levels.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly. And it does.
You can almost think of like media tie-in games as that kind of thing, right? It's just slap the movie on
Yeah.
it. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the game is. It's just people get it because of the tie-in to the thing that they love.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, is not happening as much anymore. Like there's actually good movie tie-in games
Mhm.
now.
I think
Not all good.
there's a pool of designers who can treat IPs well and actually produce a good game from it, rather than spending all the money on the license and then having to reskin Monopoly.
Right.
Prospero Hall out there is just
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly who I was thinking of.
They're Funko. That's the Funko
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Prospero Hall, Lock, Stock,
Yep.
and Barrel.
Funko
Yeah.
acquired. Yes.
Yeah. Jeff Engelstein's The Expanse is pretty good too. That's another one that could have been. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Jeff's probably going to do a good job, but still, a big hot property. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So someone else with a thing you're
Yeah, I've got a couple of things to mention that are relatively ish new. One of them I have here, which is try and get that in focus. This is the I can't see that at all. It's the Dice Men, which is Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson's history of Games Workshop from where it came from. I got a copy of this for my birthday last week, signed because Ian was at Dragon Meet and I got somebody to go for me. But I'm really looking forward to giving that one a read through. And the other one,
Say the title again, Dale.
it's called Dice Men. I'm
Dice,
not
yeah.
gonna go in focus anywhere. Now the camera's
Postmen?
Dice, DICE, Dice.
Oh,
yeah, Dice Men, which is the history of Games Workshop from when it started out as Steve and Ian in a small minibus camped on the site of a sports club so they could use the showers. they bought membership at a squash club, as I recall, something like that.
and why not?
And they started off with handcrafted wooden chess sets and things, and backgammon and bits and pieces like that. And
Oh no,
now
that's not the right one.
No, it's not of Dice and Men. It's called Dice Men.
Dice Man. Okay, all right.
It's
just
not
Dice.
generally available yet, I don't think. They had a sort of launch at Dragon Meet a couple of weeks ago.
Dice Man.
Yeah,
Speak-
I just looked it up on Amazon
Yeah.
Canada. At least it says it will be released on March 10th,
Yeah,
2023.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think it's Q1. And similarly for you guys over there, James Wallace's book, James Wallace of Hogshead and various other bits and pieces, designer of Baron Munchausen and various other businesses. He's just done released a book by Aconite, which is Asmodee's book publishing arm, called Everybody Wins, which is basically a retrospective of the last 40 years of the SDJ winners.
Hmm.
And that's a really
Yeah.
interesting. He asked me to take a look at it when he was drafting it to check the text for any technical errors that I could spot. So I've sort of had a proof of it, and that's just that. But they just started doing a podcast for it.
Nice.
So where he's interviewing, I think he's going to chat with a whole bunch of designers over the parts of it. So it's the podcast is called Play to Win, which is tied into it. It's being put out by Aconite Books, which is Asmodee's. There's a novel and IP book publishing arm rather than anything game related. But yeah, it's an interesting read. I hadn't seen it until he turned up. He did a signing at our store. Because we've known James for years and years. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Which it's not. I don't think it has a US launch until March next year. But that's one to look for. It's a coffee table book, and with that in mind, and you don't necessarily have to agree with James's opinion on everything. There are things I'm not entirely on board with, but yeah, it's one person's view of here's a good history of a bunch of games you probably haven't heard of because they weren't being talked about. And
Especially
it goes from 1979 with Hare and Tortoise right through to last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, couple of things to look out for. I think those interesting things. But I'm looking forward to giving the podcast a listen because James is always entertaining if you put a beer or two into him.
As so many of us.
That's cool. I knew that publication was coming, but I didn't know when. And I didn't know there was a podcast.
Yeah, I didn't know the podcast was happening until I got noticed. He was on Radio 4 yesterday on the media and arts, roundup and talking about it. I haven't listened to that yet. I'll catch that on iPlayer or
Nice.
whatever in the next day or two when I get some time. But the podcast apparently dropped either today or yesterday, so it's part one, and they've said season one is basically James talking to a bunch of designers, publishers, that side of thing over the history of it, which suggests there will be a season two on maybe something else. Who knows?
Yeah.
But maybe one to listen into.
Nice. Francie, Gubbins?
Well, I have a book. The best book I've read this year it's called The Light from Uncommon Stars. It's a delightful book. Is a sort of coming of age, finding your place in the world kind of story about a young Asian transgender kid. It also involves donuts and aliens and violence. It sounds completely wacky, and it was the most delightful, thoughtful, charming book I've read in a long time. Still thinking
Sounds
about
perfect.
it, 6 months later. So
So,
that's how
Francie,
remarkable.
send that suggestion to Patty
Okay,
because I'm sure she would enjoy that.
enjoy that. Okay, I will. It's
I
not.
gotta go let somebody in.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Don't let them in.
don't let them.
That's the last time Gubbins was ever.
Gubbins is gone. See a splash of blood on the side of the wall. It's a squirrel. I mean, it's the squirrel trying to let him in.
And for those who several years ago, I recommended a book called Hollow Kingdom, which was a delightfully entertaining book about the apocalypse. But there's the sequel. The sequel is called Feral Creatures, and it came out sometime this last year, and it was also quite good. So, if you are the sort who likes stories about animals and the end of the world,
Your delightful story about the
enjoy it.
apocalypse reminded me. I recently heard somebody refer to Quartermaster General, the game, as World War II, the party game. Which, if you played it, is a perfect description.
You taught me that game in Halifax, Jeff.
Yeah, it's great.
So, Alan, just pull on your cheeks like this. Come on, pull.
No,
Why?
What?
Because we need to know if it's you, a thing that's
You've
taken
been really
over. Yeah.
It was Ezra all along.
Three ducks and-
Yeah.
Gubbins is actually 3 ducks in a trench coat. It's not.
yes. Wearing a man suit. Yes.
I'd believe that. I'd believe that.
Yes.
You have any suggestions, Gubbins?
The third book in a series by Richard Osman. It's the Thursday Murder Club. The third book, which is The Bullet That Missed, came out a few months ago, and it's a great series. It's something that I read, and I said to my mom, "Hey, you like good books? Try this." And she liked it enough that she suggested it to her book club, and they read it. So,
Nice.
yeah.
On the back cover, recommended by Gubbins' mom's book club.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. One of her book clubs. I don't know
Mrs.
which
Gubbins
one.
says,
Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Yes. Yes.
Mom of Gubbins.
Yes.
Mom.
That's a thing we all look for, like
Exactly.
mubbins.
Mubbins. Mom of Gubbins. Mubbins.
Yes. Yes. So I thoroughly enjoyed that series. It's the third book. I think he's going to try and do basically a book a year. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, he stepped back from all his TV producing and presenting duties so that he can write. So I wouldn't be at all
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're very good. Very enjoyable.
I have 2 things, one of which I have to thank Daryl for because you originally turned me on to this BBC series. I just found out there's a new Detectorist Christmas special coming out, I guess on Christmas, right? This is a wonderful series about a metal detecting club. I don't remember where in England, Daryl, you'll have to help me.
I don't remember.
I have
don't
no idea
remember.
where. But
At this point in the day, no,
I have no clue.
I'm still awake.
Two friends who bond over them trying to find buried treasure of various historical significance in this rural town in England. Toby, I can't think of their names. I'm going to screw them up, so I can't think of the actors' names, but you would recognize them. They're character actors. Beautifully written show. The show, sort of as a show, has ceased to be, but they're doing a Christmas special for it this year. And
Nice.
even if you haven't seen the episodes tend to stand on their own. I'm sure you won't have had to see all the episodes for it to be a wonderful watch, but it's so quiet and just so much kids. Has a lot in common with The Bear, I think, Jeff, in that it's just this what seems like ordinary topic and ordinary people made extraordinary by the acting and the writing, and I love it, and I was so happy when I got goosebumps when I was like, oh my god, a Detectorist Christmas special, that's gonna be so cool. And then I mean we recommend stuff on the show all the time, so I'm not gonna bug people about it, but the 4th book in the name of the author is Jason Pargin or Pargin. The first book is called John Dies at the End. The second book is this book is full of spiders. Seriously, don't read it. The third book is, oh crap, I have it on my Audible account. What is it? Looking here. What the hell did I just read? Is the third book.
That's
And the new book is if this book exists, you're in the wrong universe. And they are supernatural horror comedy. Think sort of, I don't even know how to describe them. They're just so weird. But if Douglas Adams wrote supernatural horror, they would kind of be these books. That's
Oh,
just
okay.
weird. That's probably doing both of those authors a disservice, but that's the closest I can come. They're just absurd and weird, and the characters are lovable and charming, and there's a big Lebowski element to it, sort of slacker fiction. Is the way I call it too, because the protagonists are slackers that you're like, I don't know how they work themselves out of these jams, but they always do, and they do it in hilarious and fun ways. And it has a sort of Call of Cthulhu, but with a tongue-in-cheek aspect to it that I just find immensely charming. And he also has a science fiction series that I think is its equal, if not better. What's the Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits is the first one, and the second one is Zoe Punches the Future in the Dick. He has the titles down. He used to be the head writer for Cracked magazine.
Oh, really?
Oh, I used to subscribe to that. I love Crack.
Yeah, so it has that kind of edge, or just teenage adolescent humor to it. So don't go in expecting literary masterpieces here, but they are just fun reads. And if you want something to just amuse you and entertain you, they're totally worth it.
Can I recommend just one more thing? Just I forgot to. What I'm reading now is called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriel Zevin, and I haven't finished it, but I'm so enjoying it. It has a little bit of romance in it, but it's mainly about these two friends they're making a computer game, but it's just so it was recommended to me by my agent. She said, I think you'll like this, and I looked at the cover and it looks so retro, so I wasn't sure if I liked it, but then I started reading. I went, oh my god, I could see why the cover is like that. So I highly recommend Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriel Zevin.
I started it 2 days ago. It's been on my library wish list for months. So
It's really good. It's really good.
So far, I'm enjoying it too.
So is this at all related to tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in its petty pace from day to day?
It already is tomorrow for Daryl, so I think we should
Yes.
call it before Daryl ends up
It was tomorrow before we started.
Yeah.
It was tomorrow yesterday.
I just had to go a little Shakespeare, and then Daryl woke up and went, that sounds familiar. What is that? I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I think I may need to call it if we're.
I'm past my bedtime too.
I think it's time to wrap.
Past mine, but yeah.
Thank you all for joining us and helping us ring out the 17th season of the show here, and just end on a happy note with friendly faces.
I know what I was going to ask. How long ago was it when we got Debbie to drink whiskey?
Holy cow.
I have that picture in my office.
Oh my god.
5 or 6 years ago? What was it?
Yeah.
I mean, if your plan is to do this again next year, I mean, Debbie drinking whiskey is way better on video than it is on audio.
No, I do not perform.
Wait, because
Next year, I'll make it happen.
Because I'm right here. 50.
It's for the kids, Debbie.
It's for the kids. Drink whiskey for kids.
I just want to see a good solid.
Next year.
The Spiel is a 5-0.
We'll set the bids really high.
Yeah, there you go.
$1,000, Debbie. If we raise $1,000, will you do it?
You know, that could be a thing. Debbie will drink hardback on camera. Come on,
Happy
of
to
all
do
the-
art.
Think of all
Happy
the
to-
children's centers and hospitals that could
Yeah.
get game bundles because you
Yeah.
drank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just want to see you go.
I'm going to bed, you guys.
Happy
Wait,
holidays,
let
everybody.
Stephen do a sign off.
Okay.
Happy holidays to everybody. Have a great holiday season, and thanks for joining us. And we'll see you hopefully again at the end of season 18 next year.
Yes, please.